What's up?
Yo,
Yo, yo.
how was the rest of last night's discussion?
Oh, it was interesting. It eventually got into religion and talking about all that, of course.
Yeah,
Uh, how you? Yeah, you dropped out
I
like.
w- I was there for, I don't know if it was most of it, but Honenheim and Daniel were going at it about
Mm-hmm.
the same old.
Huntenheim, you can come back up here, bud. I'm not gonna have. I'm not gonna. It's a chill night, so. I mean, of course, we can talk about whatever anybody wants to, but I do
Sorry,
have a
Perry, did we
topic.
bore you?
You don't want to bore me? Is that what you said?
No, I said, sorry, Perry, did we bore you?
Oh, yeah, I
Same
mean,
Oh,
old.
no, I mean, I would have done the same thing if you weren't talking, but, I left it in the very capable hands of you, so.
Yeah, he handled it quite well. Daniel handled it quite well.
Yeah,
Most don't. Josh doesn't. I hope Josh has a go at it. I don't know if he did in his show, but
I
yeah.
think Daniel has a little bit more flexibility than Josh, but
Mm. Well, Josh
he seemed
refused,
like he
and
was
his son.
pretty. Yeah, yeah, he seemed like he was pretty genuine though. So I enjoyed his Daniel's interaction.
I agree, yeah. It just seems like he kept describing a god that didn't have to be a Christian
Yeah,
god
man,
at all.
he hasn't looked into a lot of the evolution and stuff. I don't think that's why I told him about talk origins and some of the stuff he was bringing up about the anthropic principle and
Mm-hmm.
all that. But I mean, I consider it a fruitful conversation with him last night. I don't think he was trying to be just ridiculous or anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah, it
Because we
was
get
nice.
enough of that.
Gonna go and do
Scotchula.
some inviting.
Yeah, do some inviting. Scotchula.
What up?
You're like Dracula mixed with Scott mixed with
And then mixed with the spatula.
a spatula. Yeah. You're a vampire spatula.
That's his Halloween costume for the end of the month.
Peter! My Peter. Get it?
Good evening.
What you
Good
doing,
morning,
buddy
yeah.
boy?
I just got back from a couple of gigs.
So I can talk about a topic tonight that I that I actually think is tailor made for you because you're a musician, and I care about the philosophy of music. I was basically going to talk about the flow state. Getting in the flow, in the zone. Describe what that's like as a musician.
Okay, I've been battling with this all my life, I suppose.
Yep. I figured you'd been thinking about this one.
Yeah, I suppose I'm a nervous musician when I perform a lot of the time. Nerves can really fuck things up, big time, So but I suppose looking at things, I remember reading I remember finding out John Coltrane meditated, John McLaughlin meditated, to my musical heroes, I suppose.
And Miles Davis took a shitload of opium and heroin.
Yeah, some people do different shit. And then Charlie Parker was a big smackhead.
Oh yeah, Charlie Clark's so good. Oh my god.
Look. But I the flow state.
Yeah, how do you get in the zone?
I'm there more now than I used to be.
Okay.
And it's probably from meditation and probably from not giving a shit. I think there was a great book written a few years ago by a jazz pianist, Kenny Werner.
Kenny Werner. I haven't heard of him.
Called Effortless Mastery. And he basically uses a lot of Eastern philosophy to, reconfigure your mind when you're playing, so you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing is the less you care, the better you'll play. So the less self-conscious you are about who's watching you or who's judging you, the less you care, the better you will do.
You just get into the
It's plain and
enjoyment of it.
simple.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And so I suppose hmm.
You take your time. We got all night.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh, fuck.
um,
It's a yeah. Trying to get into it. I mean, the circumstances do play a part as well. I mean, I read it. Well, I listened to an audio book on the flow state
hmm
there a couple of years ago. It didn't really teach me anything I didn't know already. It just kind of
Me
clarified
either.
things.
Me either. But it is an actual thing in positive psychology, or what's known as well-being psychology. The flow state is studied, and it is a thing. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been there a lot throughout my life, and I've been on
oh,
the
I bet.
complete opposite end of it a few times, a lot as well. Like so, I know
So,
the
like, where
difference
you
between
get
one another. When
so
you're
out of
playing music,
sync, or you mean
I
the
think when your
opposite of a
mind
flow
runs,
state? Is that what you were saying? I'm sorry, I keep
it's
interrupting.
nearly like you block everything else out, and you're just zoned into exactly what you're doing. And sometimes, uh, what what's the guy who played harmonica with Toots Thielman? He
Oh,
called
I
it
don't know.
Ground Zero. A few
Is
names
it
for it in
like
music.
is it like
He was the guy who
bluegrass
played
music or
harmonica
something?
in for the Sesame Street. Remember that? He's a brilliant jazz musician. He was a class musician. Brilliant.
Okay.
Piano player. I think he played cello as well. But he's one of the best
Yeah.
jazz harmonica players. And he plays. He did a lot of stuff with Jack Stories.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I need
But
to check that out then.
yeah, I think a lot of musicians are looking for that. I mean, it doesn't matter how much practice you do, or I mean, if you can't just let it go, and then even being conscious of letting it go isn't enough. It just lets go. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Right? Does
But
Would
it
you
not
say
naturally, or
if you're in a musical situation, if you're with the right musicians as well, that can make a huge difference.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, an ideal situation has an awful lot to do with the flow state. I mean, if you got like somebody who's a dodgy percussionist or something when you're playing with it, forget about it. You're never going to get there. But if you're playing with like a a lineup that's tight as fuck and complementing what you're doing, you complement what they're doing, to the best of your abilities. But
hmm
it also takes practice as well. It's not a like you're not just gonna drop into the flow state of a particular thing just because you feel good. You do
Yeah,
have to work at a particular thing.
I think so.
So the practice needs to be there, and the methodical practice needs to be there, and
Yeah.
on many different aspects of what you're doing as possible. So when you find yourself in that kind of place, and let's say you're a musician, like for instance, and your fingers are just doing all the right things at the right time, you can't go fucking wrong. You can't make
I
a
bet
mistake if you
that's
fucking
uh
tried.
I bet that's a beautiful feeling.
Oh, it is, yeah. And it's like
I,
fuck me. I mean, you can observe, but you can't interfere with what you can't start, once you start questioning what you're doing, then
you
yeah.
start fucking up?
you're gonna start fucking up. Like,
Yeah, let me
you
let
just
me
okay, go on.
let me see if I can read this real quick. I was just going to read the uh so in positive psychology, a flow state, also known colloquially as being in the zone, is the mental state in which a person performing some activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus and tranquility, full involvement and enjoyment in the process of the activity.
The activity is it gives give it fuels itself.
hmm
That's the thing.
hmm And you were talking a lot about the group flow. That's another
Oh,
concept that's been studied, which is interesting as hell.
yeah,
It says, kind of like you were saying, it also says here that the flow state is not to be confused with like hyper focus, like people, who are on the autism spectrum or have ADHD like me. Hyperfocus can be a problem because you can focus too much on one thing and ignore the other information or stuff going on around you or whatever. So, like you said, you kind of have to let go. That seems to be a lot of what I hear from people when they're talking about the flow state.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even a conscious letting go. It's
Right.
it's something you kind of find yourself in. It's like moments happen that suddenly put you in that place. But I think you can. It's happened to me more now as I get older. Well, I suppose I've
Oh,
done
you
a good
find
bit
it
of
getting better
meditation and
with
stuff like
age?
that, but I care a lot less about what people think, and I'm able to I'm able to shut out negative thoughts as well better than I used to be able to.
Yeah, especially when you're playing that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's the
Yeah,
main thing. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Perry, did you have a question? I'm sorry, I saw
Yeah,
you
I
jumping
mean,
in there.
does it come naturally, or is it like something that you have to think about, thinking
Well,
about not thinking?
it does take if you're doing something in order to get into that state that you're doing, and you need to practice. You need to have put a lot of work into it
Make it
prior to
habitual,
that.
kind of.
So it's not. It's not you can think. I don't know. So there's a Dunning-Kruger effect come into that as well. At the same time, you think you're fucking great, but you're not.
Yeah, you could be
you
in
know,
the zone and it sound like
you
yeah.
could suffer from serious Dunning-Kruger effect, but you,
Yep.
and still think you're in the flow state. You might be. Who knows?
I
But you
think
might just
people
be
know when
shit
they're in
too.
the. Here, come on up to speak, Peter. Come
Yeah,
on up
well,
to
yeah,
the speakers with us.
I will.
Thank you.
I'm gonna mute for a minute.
Okay, you're good. We'll get back to you because you have more to say. I think you have more important things to say on this because you do it for a living and have to get in the flow state all the time. So
Ideally, yeah.
What's up,
ideally,
lads?
yes. What's up, Shane? How's it going? How's it going?
Good, good, good. I just as soon as I seen the topic, it's a fairly interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a cool one.
yeah, it really is. It's really an interesting topic because, well, I don't know. I can only speak from my own experience, but I would guess that everybody has moments of just that pure
Mm-hmm.
clarity where, like, they just it's often the kind of doing without thinking. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
you
know
can be
what
in
you
the
need to
flow
do.
state in many different ways. You can be in the flow state in reading. You can be in the flow state in writing. You can be in the flow state listening to music or meditating. Or there's many different ways other than just being in the flow. If you're like an athlete or a musician, you know what I mean?
I know, but I suppose that it goes back to exactly what I said. Is that it's almost doing without thinking. It's like you
Yep.
start reading without the effort of reading.
Yeah.
You start playing music without the effort of actually the exertion of playing music. It's when you go back. It's like your muscle memory. It's like your unknown subconscious is
Mm-hmm.
almost doing it for you. And whenever you do find that stage or that flow, you're always doing it in like occasionally you get glimpses of perfection. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
It's
do know what you
amazing.
mean. It
It's
is
amazing.
amazing. What's your flow? Do you do it with music or do you do it with what do you do it with?
I don't know. It's such an interesting topic that like I find like when I get drunk or like what I mean.
Yeah.
I've often brought up this specific topic on like there's several things in my life that like the first time I tried to do it unthinkingly was the most amazing. Like it just worked perfectly, like so perfectly. Like I remember the first time, my first memory of like how would you say the flow, and like
Yep.
I was sitting in class and I was there with a pen with the lid on the pen, and the lid was on the non-writing side on the back of the pen, and I just was like putting pressure with my thumb, and I flicked the lid up, and I'd say I went about a foot high, like up above my head, spinning, and I turned the pen around, and the lid landed back on the top of the pen.
Oh my my
And
God.
on the first go, and I turned around to the guy beside me, and go, "Did you just fucking see that? Did you just see that? No way!" Like, you know what I mean? It's like I've had a few more of them. Like, one time I was driving up the road in my little Ford
What's the
Fiesta.
chances?
Yeah, I know. Like, this
God
is it.
damn.
Like, and it's like first time. Like, you know what I mean? Then another one was like I was driving up the road in my little Ford Fiesta, and a group of my friends were walking down the road with a football. And I seen one of them kind of, oh, look, there he is, yeah. And then I see him like kind of make a big motion to kick the ball down the road at me. Like, can you kick the ball a good, I'd say it was about 20, 25 meters, like really high down the road. And I
Okay.
seen the
Yep.
ball coming in, and I pulled the handbrake of the car, and the car swung around and batted the ball straight back to him, to his
Ah!
hands. And like it was perfect. Like, you couldn't do it if you tried. I wasn't
Wow.
even really thinking. I just seen the ball coming. And it's like, you just did it. You know what I mean? It's like
That's got to be
something.
the flow state for sure.
It's something you just do. You can't be thinking about it. And if you ever try to do it again, like, I've been skiing a few times, and like started doing jumps, and like halfway through, like landing backwards and all, thinking I'm deadly. And then I try to do it again, and I overthink it, and I end up like nearly breaking my ankle. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you try to replicate it, you end up like fucking up, you know?
Yeah, that's what
Vinny
Peter was saying.
Colaiuta, the drummer, he stated that thought is the enemy of flow. And he's dead right.
Hmm.
As soon as you start thinking, I
That's
mean,
it.
most of the most amazing things you ever do in your life are just you do them naturally without even thinking, just straight away, no decision.
But that's it, like, about like musician, like you have to fall back on skill and muscle memory, but like you're entering into the unknown. You know, you're spitting out things you don't even know you have inside you. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
when you're in an improvised setting as well, it's even more.
Yeah, Peter
At
does a
least if
lot
you're
of
playing,
jazz, so that's
if
even
you're
deeper in the flow.
if you're playing something that you know that's written, at least you can fall back on muscle memory and that kind of thing. But if you're improvising, then you just have to fucking let it all hang out, or else you're like just gonna get cramped up, and your ideas aren't gonna flow if that makes any sense.
It does.
Do you
Yeah.
know what? One of the most important times I'd say to be in the flow is when you're actually in a fight. You know.
I've never been in a long fight, but I can imagine that you can't,
A,
like
a,
UFC
a,
people.
yeah, a
Yeah.
proper one-on-one fight where you two of you want to kill each other and you're boxing the head off each other. You
Right.
know that like you're in grave danger if you end up on the ground or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, think about any high-end athlete. They're going to be able to have that zone flow, you know? Maybe some
yeah.
of them not, but
But it needs to be backed up with a certain amount of confidence as well, doesn't it?
yep.
Like the flow, you don't hit the flow unless you're kind of confident of yourself in the first place to get it. You know,
I think so.
I'm sure.
Uh,
I'm sure there's a formula, just like the other way. There's a formula for happiness, and one of the main things is expectation. It's part of the formula of happiness. I'm sure like confidence is like the same kind of input to the formula of the flow, you know?
oh, that yeah, it seems analogous. Yeah. I was going to ask if Honnenheimer, Scott, or Perry had anything to say about the flow state.
Yeah, I mean, Peter was saying you have to practice, and that confidence only comes with that practice. And I mean, I haven't played pool in about 2 years, but I was a very avid pool player. My buddy had rich kid. He had a pool table in his basement. So I'd play like every day. And that's my best example of being in the flow where you don't even really think about it. In the beginning, when you're practicing, you think a lot about the angles, the speed, spin, etc. But at one point, you just kind of like let it rip. And I mean, put on some music or whatever, and once you start thinking, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah, that seems to be what I hear from everybody. My flow is in, listening to music and studying and writing and stuff. So,
Yeah, same.
yeah.
You have to be in the
Honnenheim?
flow to like study properly, in my opinion. Once you get
Yeah.
distracted, you like lose the efficacy of your studies.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. Honenheim, what's up?
Yeah, I was going to say my best flow states have been in when I was used to play football, and I'd find it really funny for some reason when I was in the flow states and just being able to do awesome things. I'd just be laughing my head off, and I don't know why, I'd find it really funny that I could do these things, and I'd have to stop because I'd be laughing too much. And then playing video games, getting in the flow state and then also finding it really funny for some reason. It would really tickle me. I
I
don't know
think it's
why.
complete enjoyment of the moment, don't you?
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember an old fiddle player playing years ago, and he'd be able to get this magnificent fucking tone out of the violin, like, and he'd play for a while, and this guy was about 90, I'd say, at the time, and he just couldn't play anymore. He just got into fits of fucking laughing. I think at his own, music, like, it was a sight to behold. But there you go. But of a pool story.
Yeah.
I think it was about 15 or 16. I was about 16 years old. And I did this gig up north. We were in this pub for 5 or 6 days, playing every night, and there's a pool table. I played pool casually, but just for this particular few days, my pool playing was class. It's never been as good since. It was never as good before. And it lasted a few days, and I was beating everybody. Whatever happened in that particular short period of time with just every fucking angle right, I could barely miss a shot, like. But it never happened again, like. Like,
So one and done. Perry was talking about his pool flow state too.
That was it, but it didn't. I've always been chasing it again, like, but it never re-emerged.
You and Perry should play a game both in the flow state and see what happens.
Jeez, I haven't shot in like 2 years. I'd have to get a few games to warm up.
We'd have to go over the ocean to go see Peter.
I like watching pool too, like a weirdo on YouTube. I watch like whole hour-and-a-half matches.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're pretty entertaining. Have you ever watched ping pong live?
Oh, ping pong is another great example of just being in the flow. Like,
yes.
But this snooker players. Ever watch snooker?
no, but I watch a lot of snooker.
It's one of the most coach games in the world. It's amazing.
I trust you guys. I don't know.
It's an art.
Oh, it is.
It's pure art.
Honenheim, did you want to jump in there?
No, I was just going to say to Peter that I'm also a nervous musician. I used to perform, and I used to get incredibly nervous hours before singing, and then hours after too, because of the strange tension I get after. And I didn't like it, but the nerves would help my singing. That's how I'd get the wind for the singing. And the more nervous I was, the better I would sing. And I also used to race sidecars. And on the start line, I'd be so nervous. I'd be singing on the start line, which would confuse the shit out of my driver. I was a sidecar passenger, and it used to calm me. Yeah,
well, there is an element of adrenaline as well.
Yeah,
some people might say that once you're if you're not a little bit nervous before you go on stage, then you're not going to perform too well.
Yeah,
I think there might be an edge to that kind of thing. If
how do you mean
with a band or something like that? What?
How do you mean edge to that kind of thing?
Like it might be good to be a little bit nervous.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Gotcha. When you got to get up on stage, I suppose. I had a couple of kind of high profile gigs there just before the pandemic, and I knew how to perform. So, but I did a TV thing a couple of months beforehand, a live TV thing, and I made a fucking cunt of it, like, altogether. But I was like, I played way too fast, and my fingers just weren't going to the right places, so I was just blagging it.
So you were like off tempo and shit?
No, I was in tempo. It was just wasn't clicking. It was kind of
Yeah.
the
Did
tempo
it
was
feel like you were
incredibly
always having
fast.
to catch up or something like that?
No, I wasn't losing timing. I just wasn't sharp. It just,
Okay.
I think, as soon as the lights came on, my heart started pounding, and that's when I started meditating again. I was like, "Fuck this! I can't do this anymore." So I meditated for about 3 months, and then 4 months between the gigs. Like, and the 2 gigs I did, I was fine. In fact, great. Like, did good. But I think the meditation had played a huge role in the transformation to be from being absolutely shitting a brick, like, to being comfortable on stage again.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring up an interesting thing from the flow. Do you know when you're trying to reach the flow and you go into this like overthinking state that's nearly disassociative, and you're almost like, I don't know, it's kind of like you've overthought it so much that you know that you're away from the flow, and you almost feel like you're not part of you.
I do know
Here's a
what you
way.
mean.
Here's a way of looking at it. I think we're all our base state, or is the flow. It's
Oh,
our thinking is what knocks us
impedes that.
out.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
overthink shit, and then we're out.
What if we
We
were in the flow all the
overcomplicate
time?
all this fucking thinking shit.
Actually, when you
But for
do
some
think of
stuff,
it,
it's
it is
crap
it
for
is it
playing
is.
music or doing stuff like that. You base, as Charlie Parker used to say, you learn the changes, then forget them.
Here, let Shane jump in,
No,
Peter.
no, no. I was almost just talking with him. Not what I was about to say is that what you're actually getting at is one of the famous sayings is when you're doing something, you should do it with the intensity of a child at play. You know, and
Good
and and
words. I like
and
that.
and the intensity that a child at play is pure flow, because a kid doesn't have all
Hmm.
the other things and the self awareness to
Baggage.
overthink. You know what I mean? Really, in
Hmm.
many ways.
Yeah.
So they're very much in a natural state of flow, which is very much what Peter, I think, was saying. That the
Yeah.
natural state of
Yeah, when
flow,
you're a
like, you know,
kid, yeah.
and very much kids like exude that. You know.
I agree. Yeah. I
It's the
agree.
same. Like, I mean, if a bird flying at high speed onto a wire were to think for a second that he might fuck up, he'd probably fuck
Occasionally,
up.
birds do fuck. They say they're overthinking
Yeah.
So,
it.
that even the best musicians in the
Birds
world
fly into
fuck up.
glass windows a lot.
They're the ones overthinking it.
The smart birds
But
fuck themselves up.
here's, I'll share another funny story. I suppose it's like one time that I was in the flow and I actively destroyed my flow from overthinking. I was
Mm.
playing. Started off, me and a bunch of the lads were all playing like five. We started off with the free games of Poker Stars or something like that, and
Uh-huh.
earning loads of tokens. And I won one game, one turn, up to the next one, 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 so on, so on, so on, until I had $1,000 buy-in to some tournament. It was $1,300 or something like that buy-in, and I had the tournament. I had the whole thing won. I had half the chips, and there was like 12 people left or something like that, and I could have turned the game off, and I would have won a 30 grand ticket on the way to fucking World Series of Poker and all. And I just fucking got cocky, overthought it. I was with loads of friends, and I started like thinking about it, going, I'll just knock one person out. I'll just knock one person out. And I was the next person out. I was the 13th out of like the 12. Like, you know what I mean? Only the top 12 got through or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I see that as one of the times I actively overthought it and ruined the flow. Like, I did just, you know,
I do know what you mean. And
the one that got away.
it's crazy that you've had so many of those weird instances where it was almost like a synchronicity that you had the perfect timing, or the pin thing where you just had it perfectly placed to where it would happen. That would have blown my fucking mind, because that's like threading a needle at like 100 miles an hour kind
And
of probability.
and
You know
not
what I
only
mean?
that, I swear to you, one time I was drunk again, of course, but I was actually talking about the pen thing, and I was holding half a point in a pint glass, and for whatever reason, I was just in the flow when I was talking about it, and I dropped the pint glass and I kicked it straight back up, and I caught it right in front of me with half the point still in it. You know what I mean? It was just like it's
That's
just
crazy.
one of those things. You just straight towed it back up and caught it. Like
Oh,
it's just
I
weird.
I did this one time. I dropped a glass with milk in it, and I caught it before it hit the ground, and no milk spilled. That was one time that did happen to me, and I was very impressed that my body even reacted that way.
Yeah, like it's when you
Uh,
think about it, like your natural reactions and stuff like that. Like it's the smallest little things, but you know when it happens. You know.
hmm
My teacher did that one time. He dropped a pen to the side of him, and ironically, it was a pen, and he side kicked it. And I was in like fifth or sixth grade. It was the coolest thing I ever saw. Like my teacher, not even looking, noticed from his peripheral that the pen dropped, side kicked it. He was a soccer player, like he played soccer, and just it was like perfectly right where his hand was, and he caught it. It was crazy.
that is crazy.
He don't bother you if he's up.
Jason,
Hey, what's going on, man?
what's up, dude?
Yeah, so you guys are talking about getting in the flow state, and
Yes.
so the flow state that that that's a big thing with me. Um,
Oh yeah.
when I was back in the day when I was flying tail draggers, we used to land on sandbars on the river, and you really had to get in the flow state to do that. That was
Is
kind
that
of a
another
month.
like threading the needle kind of thing?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You would have to kind of get in between the trees on the river, kind of navigate your way down, and find a good solid sandbar to land on, and hope hope it held your tires and held your weight, and you had enough distance to land on and not hit water, and
hmm
enough space to turn around on, and it was just a way to play. And it was crazy because you 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 really became the airplane became an extension of yourself. And um, flying an airplane, it's simple and it's complicated all at the same time.
hmm Yep.
And it's really strange if you get really good at it and you do it a lot. um, you just become one with it. And if you become one with it, you can start doing shit like that, man. And it's you get in that flow state.
Yeah.
And
My dad was
it
a pilot, and he kind of talked about that a little bit too. He wasn't a professional pilot. He did it as a side thing.
is a side thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he had a Cessna.
Okay,
One, I can't remember what size it was.
okay. Yeah, I had a 182,
Uh,
and converted it from it was actually used as a seaplane, and we converted it to a tail dragger. So had a little
okay.
bit bigger engine than it was supposed to have, but shh, everyone, shh, nobody knew.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Right.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Real quick, Jason, let me. Scott, do you have a flow state? Scott. Scott. Okay. Uh, Go ahead, Jason, or anybody that wants to weigh in. We're just chilling tonight. We don't have to like be super on topic. But I do love talking about the flow state. That is my shit because I get into it every day with music. So
Something like with pool, and I mean, I noticed this with, I played basketball a lot. I wasn't the best at it, but I enjoyed playing it the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew when I was in my quote flow state playing, but I could also tell when someone on the other team was in their flow state. So now there's this kind of psychological aspect. And it's like with pool, I mean, if you've won your past 7 or 8 games and someone sees that, you know, that's going to have an effect on them,
Oh yeah.
and their quote flow state or whatever.
Yeah. Yep, that's when two super high-end athletes are going at each other and their skills, and they can both be in the flow state. That's like, probably one of the most especially in UFC, if you have two people completely in the fight, in the flow, it's impressive to watch.
Yeah, and stats don't really mean much when two superior flow states go up against each other. It's like
Hmm.
the record is 0-0 at that point in
Yeah.
many cases, you know? It's just so unexpected
Yep.
sometimes.
To flow
Yep.
or not to
Exactly.
flow? That is the question.
To flow or not to flow? I like that.
Focusing on your breath is a big thing.
Body odor too.
It can help center your. It can help center you.
Yeah, your breath does help center you. You can control your breathing in high stress situations and really help yourself out.
Slow breathing through your nose.
Yep. Out through the mouth.
And,
I feel, guys, I feel that I get in my flow when everything I set out to do that day or that weekend comes out to the letter. It's fulfilled like prophecy. Dates, appointments, dinners, get-togethers, bam, bam, one after the other. I'm like feeling it. My friends showed up on time. We went to the movies. We went to dinner. We hanged out. We were at a concert with the right people, right time. Nothing got in our way. We're just enjoying it. A
That's
beer
awesome.
here, a beer there. Food, boom, boom, boom. No party crashers, no wedding crashers, no bully,
Yeah.
nothing. I'm with the right
You
people,
were in
the
the
right
party
time,
flow.
and
You were in the party flow,
exactly
Vlad.
like that. Boom, everything came out all the way. We didn't get arrested for drunk driving or anything. I mean, that used to be when I was younger, of course. But
Yeah.
I even had to designate driving one time because I remember my nephew bought me tickets with his friend to go to that group Kill Switch. I think it was
Kill
like a
Switch Engage,
Palladium in
yeah.
here in Hollywood. There we
Yep.
go. Thank you. But
Yeah,
it
it's a
wasn't with
metalcore
that guy
band.
Jones. It was another. It was another singer. My nephew was a little bit worked
His
up.
name is Jesse Leach.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I think Jones had left because he was all messed up. He had anxiety, something like that. So my
Yeah, it
nephew was
was
a
an
little bit worked
anxiety
up, but
thing from what I read.
he did not let that go. We continued partying. He had drinks. He had food. We were in that area. We had parked the car, private parking, and we went from there. Back then, close to Vine in Hollywood, there used to be a Dublin's. There used to be an Irish bar. Now I think they call it Taps, 33 variety of taps. We went there, we hanged out, we ate, drank, and then we didn't kill the night. They were on the flow. Remember, I was designated driver, so I only had a beer here or
is
there.
hanged.
And I was determined to be disciplined. So we went to the Drake Hotel, the very top ceiling. Basically, they have a club up there. I wasn't even dressed to impress. None of us were.
See, Saint
And the
Mahali.
guy said you could go in, no problem. So they continued drinking. I was like just watching them like a pit bull, watching if anybody want to do anything. See, they were in their flow. I was happy for them. I was happy with them. Then his buddy did something stupid, but he still didn't kill it. Okay, because we still continued. Since it's the pool area, and I saw his friend really happy, enjoying his drink, and like he's a good looking guy. The girls were coming around, and he broke the ice, and he was no longer inhibited as he normally is, reserved person. But he had broken all those barriers to entry. So he was talking to the black lady. I think got their number, yada yada yada. So he got on top. There's like a little storage right in front of the bar, right next to the pool. He got up and used it as a diving
Oh my
to
God.
trampoline to jump over. He jumped in the water, but he wasn't the first one. There was like maybe 3 or 4 other people before him, and they were all escorted. The thing with him is it took him almost half hour before they escorted us, so we had to leave. But that was like maybe 3 hours into it, and I was like, you know what? You didn't ruin the night. You just
You
splashed
were
all
you were
over.
still you were still in the
I was
flow. Is
still on
that
the
what
floor.
you're?
I was happy. My nephew was happy. He was laughing. That's his best friend from high school, and I'm the oldest one right there. I was designated driver. I wasn't really drinking it all. I couldn't. I had to stay awake, and I was like, "Wow, man, this is the most fun I've had in years with a younger crowd."
Mm,
They took care of it. I was kind of down and out because I wasn't driving. I was unemployed. It was a
yeah.
hard time in my life, but they just made the situation sweet. We were
Vlad,
all in that
are you
flow, and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Thomas. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you were a truck driver.
No, that's my
What kind
nephew
of?
who's a truck driver,
Oh,
and
I
he's
thought
been
you said
trying
you
to
were
push
He
me.
driving.
identifies
Yeah,
him
no,
sometimes.
he's been trying. Yeah, he's been pushing me to do that, but he's the truck driver, my nephew. So that was his friend, but like my nephew likes to be careful. He wanted to drink and get whacked that day. I did the driving, and he
Yeah,
spent the
man.
night at my house. But man, it was like he was leaving at 6 in the morning, but he shouldn't have drove home. But he because he lives all the way in the Hesperia area next to his friend, but it was just flow. I hadn't had a moment like that of going out with the guys, and everything went right. Nothing illegal per se. No getting in trouble with the law. No getting into bar fight. Nothing like that. It was just cool. I hadn't done that in years, so it's like, even like when you become alcohol intolerant, that
Yeah.
whatever beer you have, it really hits you because you haven't had it in. I was that disciplined, so I decided to break all those molds. It was just fun. It was just fun.
Well,
And
that's.
the
I mean,
last
that's a hell
one,
of a night.
oh hell
Go ahead.
yeah, we
I
started
just want
like
to
at
say this
six
before the
p.m.
countdown.
Let Peter jump in real quick, Vlad.
I was like, Six
Go ahead,
Cent
Peter.
Mahali.
What's that, Peter?
Six, 6 Cent Mahali.
Oh, that guy's name. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh.
So I'm trying to say it before I can't anymore. 6 Cent Mahali.
This is the name of a psychologist that studies the flow
6
state.
Cent Mahali. That's it.
Yeah. He's a Hungarian psychologist, and he's the one who started the study of the flow state. And he and another person called Jian Nakamura came up with all the components and the readings of all the tests that they were doing on people. So that's kind of where I got the whole idea of the flow state
Did
from.
he write that book?
Yes,
on
that
flow?
started the whole idea of the flow state. Yeah, in
Was
1975.
it his book? Because I don't know if it was the one I listened to the audio book.
I don't know if it was just him, but I mean, let me look and see.
I'm gonna check my iTunes because I think.
Oh, that's cool.
My audio
The
books.
study. We need to study this topic more because people coming out of COVID, man, I've seen more sad and people worked up and fearful. They don't know how to be happy. They don't know how to flow anymore. I don't know what's up. I mean, do you see that?
They just got to find their certain. They just got to find.
It's just
They just got to
horrible.
find their certain.
I feel like I'm
Vlad.
alone.
Vlad.
I'm a very happy person.
Vlad. Everybody has their potential flow states. They just got to find those specific things that they love, that they're very entranced by, that satisfy their sense of meaning and seeking transcendence, like music or like writing or art, visual art, anything, computer science, doesn't matter. There's a way to find flow in pretty much anything.
I've been able to find flow in two other areas. One, logically, like in computer configuration, where I've had to be alone the whole day because my computer crashed, and you just can't take it to any technician. It was open source Linux. If you guys are familiar with Linux, so I had to fix it myself. I had to use my other computer. I had to cancel whatever appointments, dates, friends, get together, just to give attention to my stupid broken computer. But I got so into the flow, I got so happy at the end of the night that it could have been 1 or 2 in the morning. I said, "Yeah, I did it! I did it!" And that's something a teacher taught me years ago. A book writer, author by the name of Ross Brunson. I took one of his LPI classes at Scale. Scale is Southern California Linux Expo. They have it every March. Now they this year they had it in July. And I remember this was my first Linux Expo in 2011. He told me, "You're gonna find yourself alone. Your walk is a lone walk on this earth when you come to do this kind of configuration programming, putting together all this and learning how to fix. When you troubleshoot your own, when you find yourself in a problem, you're not going to be able to call your Windows friend who's into Microsoft Windows or your friend who's into Mac. You are there alone, buddy. So get used to saving yourself." And that's how I've been able to become a better technician. But not resorting to anybody, but figuring out shit myself. And there's such a reward in happiness when you're able to accomplish a task, troubleshoot it, even if it takes you the weekend. You're like, I did it. It was me, not you, not anybody else. It was me.
Yeah, it's
That's
all
my.
about finding
I,
that
I,
certain thing.
I just
I
checked
mean,
that out there. It was his book that I listened to, actually. Yeah.
Was it called Flow? I think that's what Amy
Yeah.
said. Yeah, Flow.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah.
he's basically the first person that came up with that idea, and I think that thing kind of took off after he mentioned it, and so
I don't know if he
but we
was the
need we
first
need to
person.
hear
I
more of
mean,
that.
there's obviously
he
been
may have
other
not been the
names
first person
for it.
to talk about being in the flow, but he's
hmm
definitely the person who popularized it, I believe.
He's the father
Yeah,
of flow state. He's the father of flow state.
I'd urge anyone who's a musician to check out Effortless Mastery by Kenny Werner. That sounds scary. So Effortless Mastery by Kenny Werner, or any videos he has up on YouTube and shit like that. So
Another state that
Yeah.
I've experienced since 2000 was listening to my favorite Vivaldi, the Venice Baroque Orchestra with chief violinist
Oh yeah.
Carminola from Italy. All of them are from Italy. I don't normally go
I
to
bet
the
that was beautiful.
Philharmonic, which is close to me. I go for them. I don't even go for Dudamel with no ill or hatred towards him. I go for them when they show up in town. I've bought tickets where I wasted $400 for friends to be there, just as long as
Oh
they're
my
next
God.
to me, enjoying the night, having some wine, having dinner, whatever, and enjoying the damn program. That is in my flow. People notice I get mesmerized. I literally melt down, guys.
Oh, I do too with music.
Yeah, when it comes to Vivaldi, Beethoven, and all that, people say, "But wait a minute, I thought you were a rocker. I thought you were into heavy." Yes, but that was a genre. I've evolved. I've evolved, and I
You've
get
evolved to
into
be
Vivaldi. Yes,
more
I love
multi-genre.
Baroque style Vivaldi, Bach, whatever you want to call it. I get into it.
Oh yeah.
And when you're with friends that are like-minded, that is like the shit right there.
Oh yeah, enjoying music with other people is the bee's knees.
Chickens play good Bach.
Then you have intermission, and then you come back for more. Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, Vlad. I'm with you, brother.
Oh yeah.
Peter said something about chickens. Like what did you say?
Said chickens play good Bach.
Chickens play good Bach.
A fugue of them, anyway.
A fugue of them. Ah!
Sorry.
The old dad jokes. I like them. I think they're good.
I suppose I'm an old dad.
So is this one of those when they come and play Bach, the chickens came home to roost? Like that?
There's a lot of classical and Baroque period artists that I've enjoyed listening to. I've never been able to see a symphony live, though. What's
Spotify has done it for me. It has enormous amount, a big amount of a classic that I could be on it all day. There's not enough hours in a day just to enjoy every
I agree.
composer knows.
Yeah, I agree. Spotify has a huge catalog of classical and Baroque music.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm discovering I don't have to go and shop. I don't have to go to Amazon and buy or whatever for $1. No, I just go right here and I listen to see if I like it. In fact, there's a particular, I think it was Opus 35 from Tchaikovsky. It had nothing to do with Nutcrackers and Nights, which is very popular. But this is a particular piece that all anybody that wants to prove that they know the shit in violin, they have to play usually at most
Yeah,
exams,
most of his
whatever.
stuff is like that, right?
It's one of those, believe me. And I once had it playing in the background, and I had a friend, I don't know, a customer, because I used to do a lot of computer repair. And he goes, "Can you raise the volume on that?" I go, "Yeah." And he literally knew how to tell me everything. I was like, "Oh shit, what did I do?" And this guy knew his stuff in Tchaikovsky. I didn't know Tchaikovsky was the man for when you take
Oh,
when
he
a
is the man.
young violinist does an exam to graduate to become a great one.
Yeah.
I think it's again this Opus 35 was beautiful. It's hard to find
I'm gonna look
the
that up
one.
after the show.
Yes, and the one that I personally like, believe it or not, Thomas, if you're because I know you're a connoisseur of classical.
I
I hope
am
everybody else here
connoisseur.
is the Souvenir de France, played by
Ooh.
Sarah Chang, and there's several other composers. They play Tchaikovsky and they play Dvorak. I don't know if it's Dvorak or Dvorak, but they
Peter
play
can
both.
probably tell you.
Oh, right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, Tommy, you want to get me to the state, the flow? Don't bother me with calls. Don't bother me with nothing. Just let me listen to it, have my meal, and
One of
listen to
my
the
other
music.
ways of getting into the flow is going to concerts, a lot like Peter, obviously, but I'm on the other side of it. I'm enjoying it. He's the one who's doing it. So
Yeah.
I can get into it. I've been to over 200 live shows, probably about 250. And I mean, I just used to do it all the time. And I could get into a flow there because the music was so loud and
Yeah.
engulfing that, it's just a beautiful thing. And somebody said that being in the flow state's like being in childhood, and that's exactly right. You know what I mean? It's like being unbridled and childish and just fun loving and not thinking deeply at all, but just intensely focused on whatever you're loving at the moment. That's the flow.
There was a time, I think it was my niece's um, recent wedding last year. No, I think it was this year.
Dude, what
I
is
might be
going
wrong.
on in the background, Vlad? You
Sorry,
sound like you're at a
I know.
racetrack. No, you're good, brother. I just thought it was funny.
And my nephew, who's now 15, I thought he was getting it on with some younger girl in his age group, right?
Okay.
But they were talking really Japanese anime, and I
I love
had to catch
anime.
on. I had to catch to the language. I didn't understand it's a cartoon because I don't focus on them. I see them
I grew
briefly,
up with it, so
but I respect them. But I really thought my nephew was getting it on. I was like, is this my mijo? Is this my child becoming a man? Choosing two of the little girls that he grew up with as gonna be his girlfriend? We're both little kids, they're cute. That'll be fitting. They're all young, inexperienced, virginal. This is perfect. I'm looking at the next
Vlad.
wedding right here. Beautiful. But
We
no, you
can't
know
be
what it
talking
was?
about virgins,
It was
like
just
young virgins especially.
it was just childish language about Japanese anime. He kind of, I was like, nephew. So I didn't continue. I was like, no, I'm not going to pervert you. I'm sorry, but I will share in your moment. You were just having a fun kid time. And but I looked at him and I was like, damn, you were in your flow, my child. You were in your flow. As a
Well,
child, you were in your flow. I thought you
it's
were in
like,
your flow, taking it to the next level already because you're showing you grew up, that you had puberty and you're ready to,
yeah, I
sow
mean,
your seeds or
children
something.
children, use their imagination to get into the flow. They're not as cut off from it as we are, it's
What
directly
happened to us? Where
accessible
did
to
we
them.
lose that? What happened to
I
us?
don't know
Where
why,
did it go?
imagination kind of slowly becomes less of a focus as you get older, and I don't know why that happens, but we do know that it,
Look,
just
Thomas,
by
I want you to look at
experience,
my profile picture.
jadedness.
I changed it again. My profile. That's my niece. That's the last one in my family.
Oh,
Somebody
you have a
broke
lot
that
of cute
child's
nieces.
flow and she got so serious, that poor child. She's giving him that nasty look. Her character's coming out. She's going to be 2 years old. But somebody broke her flow and she's looking at him like, what the hell? And she
Oh,
looks
I
like she's
got you.
a like a train conductor or something. And she even has her
Somebody
hand like,
trying to make her grow up too fast, or what do
yeah,
you
I'm
mean?
like, come on, let the child be, for crying out loud. What
I
about the
got you.
children? Right here is the real. What about the children?
You got to let
And
them use their imagination for
mm,
large periods of time, I think. It's
and
the way we
right
grow.
here, this is the most serious photo I ever seen of her. The other one was really, she's laughing, coming out
Vlad,
of COVID. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, you're good. I hate to keep interrupting you, but I know Honnenheim has a special understanding of of children. So go ahead, Honnenheim, of
I
how they
was just going to
learn anyway.
respond to Vlad, and he's right on point. And as I'm speaking here, because I'm very frustrated with some of the things I've seen in my school, and I've seen people's children's flow being destroyed, what they could have been almost being destroyed, and I've seen this in real time, and I'm really sad about it. So I actually right now I'm started my next book, which is about a fully holistic learning system, education system, which is fully redemptive, restorative, just to like show the qualities in children and lead them to a greater place. So yeah, I'm working on helping you there, Vlad, and I want yeah the world to be a better place, and these kids to turn into the people they could have been, not the people that we think they should be. So yeah, I'm on it.
The more people we get to be in their natural flow state, the better society will operate. I mean, somebody could be in the flow state, selling subs at Subway. You know what I mean? I'd rather I want them making my sandwich rather than other people. Go
I'm
ahead,
going to
Vlad.
use Frederick Douglass. I like what he said in our history. It is better to build strong children than to fix broken men. And you're right,
That's a
Thomas.
good quote. That's
Let
a good quote.
them have as much
What?
as they can.
Best
Don't push
people
them too
murderer, man.
easily to become adults.
Yeah. I think are you and Peter the only ones that have children in here? Oh, we lost Vlad. Damn. There we go. He's back. Are Vlad? Are you and Peter the only ones that have kids in here, or does anybody else up here have kids? I don't. So
My
I was just
grandniece, I treat her like my own child. No, I don't have any kids, believe it or not. It's just I've grown up
Oh,
with
Scott has a
my
kid. Okay.
nephew.
Yeah. So
From the
you're
oldest to the
involved with
youngest.
your nephew and niece's life a lot. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just people, I guess have more of an idea of what it's like to be in that childish flow state when they see their own children being in that state. I'm sure that helps to kind of enjoy the moment as well, enjoying your children being in. Oh, we lost somebody. Who'd we lose?
Yeah,
Shane.
yeah,
Shane,
and
you can come back up
what
if
you
you
do
want to,
also
bud. I
see in
didn't.
a couple situations that the mother usually gets freaked out because the kids are doing something potentially dangerous, but they seldom fuck up. They're having fun and they make the right moves every time. I would argue that early man probably was in much more of a flow state than we are today with our overthinking. We see the same kind of thing with chimps and the photographic memory exercises. You've seen those, have you?
What? Say that again.
Audio
I
here.
didn't hear the last part.
Have you seen the experiments with chimps and the photographic memory exercises they gave them?
I've seen that. It's incredible, Peter. I've seen
they
that.
Fucking waste us.
Yeah.
There.
It's unreal. Robotic
Absolutely.
almost.
They just shit all over us. And this is a computer screen that flashes a bunch of stuff in order. And they can remember that order way better than we can. This is
See, I don't have children. Just responding to you, Thomas. I don't have children, but I do class all the students in my care as the same responsibility as a parent. And when I see their flow being taken away and them learning bad lessons from us adults, it makes me feel sick. That's why the emotions came out in my last comment. It makes me feel physically sick when an adult teaches a child a wrong lesson when they're actually being paid to be in their care, and that's why often it's said that these educators are held to a far higher bar than anyone else. Yeah, it makes me feel rotten to the core.
I mean, I'm sure you have to deal with a lot of shitty parents too. Yeah, Peter, you're right.
Anxiety and worry and all that stuff gets transferred.
Fix the kids and Oh, man, I wish so many shitty parents
Oh,
out
the
there.
parent parties, yeah, well, that's a
I have to
separate
say,
issue.
whenever I
Like,
think that my kids are in good mental health,
Yeah, you could help the kids to be in better mental health situations, and then they can deal with the crazy parents. What's up, Daniel?
What's up, guys?
doesn't sound
Look, I
weird.
was
Doesn't
thinking
mean I'm a
about
shit parent.
What's
our
that, Peter? I'm sorry.
conversation last.
No, you're
Oh,
carry
sorry.
on. Carry on.
All right, go
Oh,
ahead,
I'm
Daniel.
sorry. I didn't
No,
mean
you're
to
good,
cut you
brother. I
off.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
Good on.
No, man, I feel like I know y'all now. After the conversation last night, I've been thinking about, a lot of stuff that was said and everything. I was
Yeah.
like, I was looking today to see if I was missing any shows or anything, and I kept checking and I didn't see that I missed any, so I was like, all right, we're good. And I just got home and saw it. But can y'all like fill me in on what we're
Well, it's a
discussing?
real simple show tonight. We're not doing torture time like I usually do, where I come in and give a lecture on, epistemology or science or anything like that. Tonight, we're just talking about the psychological idea of the flow state, which is a thing in psychology that is studied. And it's just basically being in the zone with whatever, you can get in the zone in many different ways in life. And we were just talking about what each of our individual flow states are, and basically some examples and experiences from our lives that were in the flow state, like musicianship or riding a bike, or I mean anything, all kinds of things can put you into that state. So that's what we were talking about.
Okay, basically like your spot, like where you just kind of are with yourself.
Yeah, when you kind of release the thinking and you just get in the zone.
I got you. Yeah, I do that at work a lot.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
whenever I'm going fishing and stuff, whenever
Yep.
I hook a bass, especially, I forget about the world around me. It can fall down,
That's yep,
because
that's the
until I
flow
get that
state.
bass in that boat.
So
Yeah,
see, that's your flow state, and mine's music. Peter's is music.
music is a good
Perry's
one.
was pool. He used to shoot pool a lot, and he got in the flow state there. Peter said he was actually pretty good at pool too. So,
Man,
do you
I'll
have
tell you what,
anything like that?
my number one thing is writing.
Writing,
I
yeah.
I write. Oh yeah, I write a lot. It started whenever I was really, really
It's
young.
good for you.
Yeah, well, it got to the point now to where I had to actually buy a wallet that I can stick one of those little notebooks in and still hold my cards and my money and stuff and put a pen in it.
Damn,
So, I
son.
mean, whenever I pull out my wallet to pay for something, everybody's like, that wallet's different. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm a writer. And if you get something and you don't write it down right then, and I'm so ADHD, I'll probably lose it if by the
Yeah.
time I find a pen, you know? So,
Yeah, that's me
I,
too, bro.
yeah, that's how I am. And then, but once I'm like you're talking about, from what I can understand, once I'm in that flow of writing, it is hard
Yeah.
to pull. I will sit down and write for 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I will not get up. My legs will fall asleep and everything, but I have to separate myself because it's like everything that I just have a lot on my mind, and it's good to put it
Yeah.
on paper. And what really motivated me to do it was I want to leave something to my kids. Like whenever
That's
I
a
want
beautiful
them to.
thing. Yeah.
It was kind of inspiring to me because my wife said that she had, well, it was actually her grandfather's Bible, and she said that whenever she read it, he had so many notes in it, it felt like she was reading it with him. I was like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
want to leave like that for my kids, like that kind of really got me thinking. And I said, I want them to still feel like I'm there even when I'm not. So
Yeah.
I started writing down just whatever was on my mind, and hopefully at
That's
some point in
perfect.
time in life, it'll help them in some type of situation that they might be going through. I'm hoping.
I agree.
The,
The
gr- the
being
the
in the
great,
flow state is good for your mental health. Go ahead, Peter.
as I said, the great thing about writing and stuff like that is you can take little pauses.
Yep.
Yeah, you can really think about
The
what you're
problem
writing.
with music is that you
It's a
can't.
set thing.
You're in a
Yeah.
grid. You're basically working in a grid,
Mm-hmm.
a time grid, a harmonic grid,
Yeah,
Melodic
a
dissonance,
particular
all that
type of
stuff.
rhythm grid, and you've got a lot of, and then you've got a communication thing that you have to. There's a lot of different things going on. You can't think
Oh
too
yeah.
much about that, but that's what's going on. It's so easy to fuck up sometimes.
Well, it's almost like
it's
you
If
have to
if
be
you doubt
Superman.
yourself for a second, you're fucking
Yeah.
nice one. If you doubt yourself for a second, you're in the fucking
you're out of it.
weeds. You know, you're
Yep,
gone. Like,
you're
you're gone.
gone, baby.
Yeah, as soon as you put that tiny element of doubt in, you're probably gonna fuck up. You might save
Yeah,
yourself. You might mask what you've done,
yeah.
but
That would be a good
you
topic.
you have lost it. Like, and it's so common. It's so hard to maintain.
Let's let Jason jump in here. I agree with you, Peter.
Oh, here's my question. It seems that most of us have all experienced some sort of flow state,
Yep.
but for a bystander, um, what parameters would you put on there to have for someone to experience flow state? Like
You
what
mean how
what
could an
would
outside observer tell when somebody's in the flow state?
exactly?
Whenever they go, hey,
It's
hey,
going to be
hey.
normative. I don't think you can experience it from outside looking at someone. I think it's a normative conceptual thing, in our cognition.
I think it can be noticed.
Yeah, I think it
Oh
depends on how
yeah,
the
I mean when
person
somebody's
expresses it.
performing excellent, Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you open a thing for me?
But yeah, exactly. Like Peter was saying, I guess the only evidence, empirical evidence that you could have is seeing that person win or succeed or play beautifully or whatever it may be. Obviously, if they're at the height of what they're doing, then they're probably in the flow, and you can just abduct that through reasoning. But it's not necessarily. You may get it wrong sometimes. Like that guy's in the flow and he's not. So it's a normative thing.
I think one of the ways to kind of observe it is whenever you see people staring off into space.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they're
with that
really not
intense 1,000-mile stare. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's like they're in deep thought about something. It's like they're in zone, but they're in their zone about their thought.
yeah. They're not, like Peter said. They're not usually actually thinking about it. It's like the action and the behavior. Excuse me, the action and the God damn, I can't think of the word.
No, I get what you're saying though.
The
It's like
action and awareness kind of become the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like you become a part of that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Tell us about fishing. When do you get in the zone fishing?
Oh man, it's to me, it's just the peace and the quiet and just enjoying just being outside and just and then like that's even if I'm not like if it's a bad day and I'm not really catching anything, I'll just enjoy being out there and
Oh yeah.
just like observing nature and but if I
See,
hook a bass, man, it's on.
yeah.
Like if I
See,
hook
I
a
grew up
bass,
on a lake, so I got to be a part of that culture too. But it was
yeah,
never a thing for me.
well, I didn't really get into fishing until probably about 15 years ago because I didn't know how to fish. But I was like, well, only one way to learn. And, as we discussed last night, I'm more self taught than anything,
Yep.
So I was just like, I guess I'll just do this and try different things and see what works. And, once I found out what worked, I started kind of re engineering certain things and it just
Yeah.
kept working. And I
You
just
have the
started
science
loving
of
it.
fishing, my friend.
Uh, well, and see,
No, I'm just playing with you.
I didn't know till recently that there's actually a difference between a fisherman and an angler. And I'm more of an angler because a fisherman just pretty much just sets whatever up on his hooks and just throws it out there and waits for anything to bite it.
Yeah, yeah.
But an angler is targeting a certain fish with a certain color, swimming in a certain way at a certain depth, and it's like
Oh, I didn't know that either. I didn't know the difference.
yeah, it's a big because if you're bass fishing, you have to match their environment and you have to kind of like feel what they're feeding on. Like if you don't see them by the banks, they're not eating minnows. So you want to kind of throw where like if you're not seeing any activity at all, then it's kind of like you have to hunt them,
Okay.
and you have to find out where they are. And once you find it and they hit it and you have a fish, it's like it feels like you accomplished a goal of, I guess, being like the alpha species, where it's like that you can overcome anything. Like, I mean, it's like just like killing
Yeah.
like a deer or something. it's like, yeah, and even if it's only for a moment, you just feel like you're the dominant, like you feel that dominant species thing, you know?
I've never hunted before because I just don't like killing stuff. But
I
fish
don't
is a
like,
different
I'm not
thing for
much of a
me.
hunter either. Yeah.
Fish are assholes. So, oh my god. Real
All right.
quick, Daniel. Let me. Scott, are you there? Scott.
Love you too,
Oh my
babe.
god, this boy is just gone.
I like
Hunenheim,
talking
did
to
you want to
Scott.
say anything, or Perry? You guys haven't talked in a while. Anybody still with
Yeah,
us?
Hmm.
yeah.
Hey, I'm always here.
I've definitely fished my fair share of hours in my life. I don't, and I mean, when I did it, I was, I guess, 13 to 16, 17 mainly.
Hmm.
And at that time, very impatient person, very non-flow esque. And looking back at it, I'm sure that that definitely negatively influenced me because I just go to a different spot, 15 minutes, no bite. Go to a different spot, 15 minutes, no bite.
ADD fishing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and so that definitely negatively affected me. And I guess I was an angler too because the bait that I would buy and you know the lines that I would, or also I'd fish for pike also using a, what's it called, a fly caster, using that special
Yeah.
type of rod. and uh
Right.
and I finally, I mean, it took me like a month, honestly. And again, looking back on it, surely it was my impatient tendencies, or because you have to reel in the or it's a bait caster, I think is what it's called. Not fly fishing, but I think it's called the bait caster. And you have to reel it in at a certain speed and whatnot. And so if you're not practicing properly, it's hard to really get in that flow state.
I got you. I've never been in the fish flow state. I need to try more fishing, but I'm lazy. Honenheim, you want to jump in real quick?
Hey, if I stop talking or I leave the room, my phone died,
Yeah,
y'all.
it's
I'm just gonna say that.
all good, Daniel. Go ahead, Honenheim.
Okay.
No, I got nothing. Good to see you here, though, Daniel.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
I
you
haven't
too. It's
got
good to
much.
hear from you.
Yeah, glad you came back. Hope you join us in Discord too.
Well, I
Yeah,
tried
no.
kind of messing with it a little bit. Like I said, I'm still trying to feel for this app, but I did download it. Come to find out, I already had it downloaded. I have like 800 apps on my phone. So I went and signed in and set it up, and it was kind of like in between work time where I kind of messed with it a little bit, and then I think I'm all set up for it. I just need to kind of get the feel of it. But yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'll send you a link to the Penguin Hangout, and then send you links when we're having conversations and stuff. It's the best. It's awesome. It's
yeah,
like here,
it's a
but
good
more free.
Discord.
That sounds
It's a
great,
good
man.
Discord.
Because I was
Yeah,
thinking, I
when
was like, man, I'd really like to talk to them again today. Well,
yeah,
and then I was like, well, they said something on Discord, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure it out. And then I figured that it would be brought up again, and and then I would hopefully have found it out by that time. My phone, for some reason, is not charging. It's been on like 2% all day. It's weird.
my
I'm
phone's
about
a
to
piece of
reset.
garbage too.
Yeah, well, I mean, mine usually, I think it's the case because I have a case that's like 2 times the size of the phone and it gives it 200 more percent battery life. So, really, I have a
Hmm.
phone that I don't have to charge for like 5 days because it has 300% battery life. But,
Okay. Can
but
you
whenever you,
only get on Discord on your phone, or do you have a PC or a laptop or anything?
no, I mainly just do everything off of my phone.
Okay. Well, the layout of Discord is a little bit more complicated on the phone because there's a lot of tabs. But basically, the far left side is your servers, and then when you click on a server, it shows you all the tabs and the text tabs in every server like a list. And then, of course, in the center is all the responses in every different tab of whatever server you're going into. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because whenever I pulled it up, there was like this big old list, like all up in my face, and I was like, "What is this?" Because it was like, you know how you like, okay, going back to fishing, you go to pick out a certain bait, and you're just like, "Wow, what is all this?" You know, I
Mm-hmm.
just came to get a brown worm. What are all these?
Yeah,
And that's kind of,
Discord
you
is
know,
an overload. Discord is an overload. I agree with you, especially on the phone.
yeah, probably so. Yeah, it's probably more. It's probably a
Well,
little more
see, there's
complicated
ways you
on the
can
phone.
direct message people, or you can just go into a server. See, that's the only two ways you're going to do something, is going to your direct messages and directly messaging people or calling them, or you're going to go to a server and get in a group call or a text group chat. So
That's
that's basically
cool.
what you're
Are
going to
they
look
like
for.
live? Are they not live, but like could you go back and listen to them, or is it just pretty
No,
much
anything on
conversation?
Discord is not recorded. The only conversations that we have recorded are on here on call in.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'll definitely look more into it. I did get Hominax. What? That's I'm pronouncing his name correctly, right?
Yeah, Honenheim.
Honenheim. Okay.
Or no, I'm
I
sorry,
did
Hohenheim. My bad.
Hollenheim. Okay,
Yeah,
Hollenheim. Okay.
yeah.
I
There we
did
go.
get hit some information from
Getting it
him
wrong.
that he kind of helped me like get to it and stuff. So
Okay.
if he continues to help walk me through it, I'd love to do that, man. Because a lot of times I just feel like talking,
I feel you,
but
bro. I do too.
or just listening. Sometimes I just feel like listening to what other people have to say about certain things, and get interesting point of views, and be like, oh, I disagree, or yeah, that makes some sense. I never
Our
really
our
thought about it like that.
server our server is, and I understand all that, but our server is pretty active. It's not super active, but usually if you jump into a voice channel on there, somebody will eventually join you. That's just kind of usually how it works. And there is a hugely diverse group of people on there, but we are still growing, so it's not like there's not a lot of people who like to voice chat either. It's usually a group of about 10 to 15 people that like to voice chat. So,
Cool. Yeah, I'm probably gonna dig into it a little more tonight whenever
oh
I lay
yeah.
down.
Here, come on up
But-
to speak, Daniel. We got Vlad back.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go run to my phone. It's on charge.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
We are in no rush tonight, guys. We're just chilling. Chillin'. And apparently we lost Scott, which is ridiculous.
I'm gonna just mute myself for a little bit if that's okay.
You're fine. Vlad's gonna come in and
All I want to know is, has anybody ever gone into the flow with Honey Ham? Not Hohenheim. No, don't confuse.
honey
Honey,
ham.
a Honey Ham during Thanksgiving. Has
Oh,
everybody
I've
ever
definitely
gone?
gotten to a flow with a honey ham during
There
Thanksgiving.
we
Yes.
go. Please tell us,
Oh,
share,
yes.
share.
Bro, during Thanksgiving, my parents buy this, the Honey Baked Ham Company. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So they buy me a honey baked turkey. It's like
Oh,
2 or 3 pounds of turkey, and it's the most delicious thing of all time. And if you put it
wow.
on a sandwich and eat it, you are in the zone. Trust me. So every year I
Flowing.
get to have that.
Oh, man. You
Only
gave me
one
some
time a year,
ideas
though.
for the upcoming.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the turkey is the best. I mean, the ham is great and everything, but if you get their turkey, dude, oh, so good.
you get in the flow. Okay. So, no, thank you. I might take you up on that. Because my
Some
sister
honey
normally
baked ham.
brings the honey ham from the honey ham bake store here in California,
Oh yeah,
or wherever she gets it. If I remember, it's just honey baked ham. But now that you
yeah.
told me turkey, oh my god, I might even tell her here.
What
I
that
know we're gonna
company
have.
does is they like soak it in honey in the bag that they send it to you in, and
Yeah.
there's no gristle or anything in the turkey. It's all just like really pure and delicious, with no like
Wow.
bad spots or anything. It's really I think it's expensive though. I don't think it's cheap. I think their little 5-pounder or whatever it is that my parents get me
Yeah.
is like, I don't know. It's probably $100 or so, probably more.
Wow.
I'm not
But
sure. I don't really
the
know. I
great
just
things in
know.
life
Yeah.
aren't cheap. They're gonna
No.
cost.
Yeah,
$100
for real.
to get you in the flow. I wouldn't fly over. I was like, no, hell no. Here, just for that moment.
You can make a lot of sandwiches off that 5 pounds. So yeah.
Oh, imagine. You know
Hey,
Oh
usually
yeah.
what happens in Thanksgiving with all the leftovers and you know you get turkey soup and oh
Oh yeah.
all that week. You stuff yourself
Dude,
with
I
so
can't
much
wait for Thanksgiving.
thirst. Yes, that's in the flow. You see, I'm in the flow with family there usually. You
I'm
know.
gonna be honest with you. Food is a flow thing for me because, like, when I get the
yeah,
perfect food, when I'm really craving something specific, that's definitely getting in the zone for me. I am
Oh,
completely in that food.
wow. All right. All right. All
Like
right.
when
I
I
hear
go
you.
to or Perry. I'm sorry. Go ahead and speak, Perry. My bad.
no, you're good. I mean, I agree. Food for sure is a flow state, and
Oh yeah.
I have been intermittent fasting poorly recently because I've been lifting more weights. But
Uh huh.
beforehand, I love to intermittent fast and then just, go hard on my one meal that I eat that day. So I definitely get in the flow state during that.
Oh, that's dank.
And it's also like a sunk cost thing. You know what sunk cost is?
No, go
It's like
ahead.
you buy something and you want to get as much use out of it because you spent money on it or whatever.
Right. It's equity. Yeah.
And so,
Personal
like,
equity.
when you get that poutine from the store that you've been thinking about all day, you want to enjoy it as much as possible. So,
Hmm.
whether you think about it or not, or whether it just comes naturally, you definitely are focused and in the zone when you're eating it because you want to enjoy it as much as possible. So,
Yes.
and I don't eat
Oh
pig because
yes.
pig is
I'm thinking
sacred.
about all the most delicious. You don't eat pigs?
Pig is sacred and it's haram. So, no, I fucking love ham and bacon and all that
Oh,
shit.
I love bacon so much, dude. I probably couldn't live without bacon every now and
Cow
then.
is my favorite animal. And I love cows, like
The only
personally.
problem is that cows show as much emotional intelligence as a dog.
And
That's
so
my
that
problem.
so and
But they taste
that's what I was
delicious.
getting to is that
Yeah.
like I hate the fact that on how they treat them, and like I would much rather eat a cow that has lived a somewhat good life, whatever that
Yeah.
means, not just
Yeah, full life.
caged up. And I personally feel spiritual love for chickens and turkeys and cows because they give me energy and they in a way metaphorically live vicariously through me, so I have this like irrational
Yeah. I mean,
relationship
they
with
are
them.
they are fueling all of us, which is something to be,
So I never
appreciative
waste
of.
food because of that reason and because there's a lot of hungry people out
Yeah.
in the world, and it's like don't throw that
Yeah.
shit away, like eat it
I feel the
and
same.
make use out of it.
Nah.
I feel the same.
That's why to my chickens and my beef, I say, I'm gonna do to you what that wolf was gonna do to you, living. But you're dead. You're gonna feed me. You're not gonna go to waste. And you're
The
right.
Right,
wolf is dead
exactly.
Don't
or
It
waste
the
your
doesn't go
cow
to
is dead?
food.
waste.
Eat it.
Yeah. Yep.
It is sacred. Yes. Love your food. You know. The
For
only
sure.
thing I
I
think I
agree.
probably have a problem with is if I had to raise chicken or maybe rabbit. Those are wonderful animals. And then to know, I've had years ago. Okay, I've had neighbors that were Asian. Two cats disappeared. I believe it was two cats. I was too young to know, but my parents knew, and my father was a boxer. He could have outboxed the guy if he wanted to. You know, if I would said, "Dad, who took the cat?" Well, we knew the cat disappeared. The problem is the skin, because they skinned it after it's dead, was out in an old swing in the back
Jeez.
from that apartment. And then my mom knew, come on, that was our cat. But how do you tell your nice neighbors who are on the second floor, what the hell? You're eating our cats. You fatten them up. You wait till they get fattened, and kaboom. And that just
Yeah,
doesn't go.
that's
And
scarring.
we didn't make it personal, but we knew we had to keep the cats, not the dog. We weren't worried about the dog, but the cats indoors. So I would say if I knew somebody's laying hands on my cat or my rabbits or my dog, I don't know what's gonna happen to them. I'm gonna do to them what they're doing to my cat.
What were you saying about the chickens and the rabbits though? That like you wouldn't want to eat them if you had them as pets?
I don't know. It's just like it's kind of like I look at it like this, Perry. You're at war, and the other guy's on the other side, right? And he was a friend of yours in high school,
Sure.
but you just can't kill him. But you tell your buddy in next to you, brother in arms, bro, I can't do that to Mike. I know Mike. It'll hurt me to kill him. but you don't know my. You do it.
That's a
You do
shitty
it.
asshole. That's a
I
So
shitty
know.
bastard right
let's
there.
say that rabbit dies though, like on its own. Like you didn't have to kill it. Like it
Yeah.
lives a peaceful life. It dies naturally.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be somewhat actually moral to not put its dead body to use and actually perhaps use it for a
Well, it
beneficial
depends.
cause?
If I find that fat rabbit still warm and it died, but if it's been like 2 or 3 days, that's
Yeah, no, of
different.
course. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
obviously,
there's
that's
real
part of it.
quick. Real quick. There's evidence for cows showing emotional quote unquote intelligence.
Hmm.
There's some evidence to show that I don't think rabbits show any emotion. And I don't know about chickens either. Do chickens show like dog level emotional
I doubt it.
intelligence?
Highly doubt
Or
it.
yeah, see, that's the thing that I would think would be quote unquote unethical, because if anything is consciously aware to the level to where it can be happy or sad, and cows can technically be that, so can
Hmm.
horses. Maybe it would be better to let them live the full life and then take their meat.
Yes.
The only problem
Yes.
is the meat might be worse. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
not fresh or whatever.
Well,
And
yeah.
we wouldn't be able to catch up if we waited till all the you know what I mean? We would be without meat
Right.
for
It'd be such
a
a
long time.
rarity and it'd be like a
Well,
delicacy.
well,
Yeah.
I had my culture clash in Mexico when I was about 11, 12 years of age. And I was hanging out with my cousins. We were in their house with my aunt. And she asked us, what do you kids want to eat? And the kids said, well, chicken. And, we'll just go with the flow, right? And I thought, we're going to go to the supermarket. We're going to buy some chicken. No. My aunt just grabbed that chicken, the
A
first one
live
that
one.
crossed her, swirled its neck, to break it, cut it off, and put it on a hanger of like clothes, and let it drip blood.
Right.
Now, to my cousins, that was every day. That was life. To me, what the hell did you just do? You just violated all sorts of innocence in me. I killed the
Hmm.
chicken that I'm used to getting cold at the supermarket.
No
No, that's
warning.
life. Yeah, no warning. She just
It
expected me to
it
be.
it would really bother me to watch somebody cut a chicken's head, like going down, I don't know, anywhere, and just see somebody decapitate a chicken. That would probably bother me a
Yeah.
little bit.
My my
Yeah.
I
my
mean,
my aunt, and I couldn't tell her, well, you're making the food. I mean, she's old fashioned. That's the old world for Mexicans. That was nothing. That was in Guadalajara, Jalisco. When we went to Mexico City with where my dad's family's at, my uncles killed pigs. They said, "What did you guys want to eat?" We're thinking of making chicharrón, pork crackling. And I go, "Okay." Oh man, they grabbed that fat hog and they got it by the corner close to the
They
entrance.
wrestled
And,
it. Yep.
and you could hear, but it was dying.
oh God.
I mean, I experienced in that summer, and I had an appreciation like never before for the life
For
that I had
animals.
here in the United States.
Oh
And I mean,
yeah.
the chicharrón was delicious, but I was like, what the hell are you doing to that animal?
Where was
They were
this?
killing it.
Where, where
This
was
was,
this?
oh man, back in the 80s. I was only 12 years old, like maybe 1983, 82.
Oh damn,
That's
yeah.
quite a while. But man, did I grow up and did I learn to have a great appreciation for the commodities and accommodations you have
Yeah.
here in the U.S.
I think we should
I-
appreciate the animals that sustain us, yeah.
Definitely.
but it was a hard life. I was like, wow. Again, to my cousins, that's everyday life. But to me,
Yeah, I mean they have to kill to eat, and survive. I mean people, especially in harsher climates without, like people who live without air conditioning and stuff, they have to eat meat and have that sustenance so they can survive,
no, but not only that. Think about it, Thomas. That to them, you can't get any fresher chicken. One moment you're playing with it, the next moment you're eating it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how it works, and that's life, and that's natural.
It
You
is
know,
in some of those places, I agree. It's the same thing with, raising pigs to be slaughtered,
The same
right?
number.
especially if you don't have access like we do in America.
The
And
same
believe me,
number of
that really
people.
broke my flow. There was no flow there, baby.
Yeah, I just besides fish, me seeing animals get killed is just like if I saw a bird get killed, that sucks. Like if somebody were to kill a hummingbird, it would make me want to punch that other person in the face. Like there's just certain things, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I'm rambling, but
The same number of people that there are in the world are chickens eaten in the USA every day. 8 billion chickens almost are eaten every day in the USA.
holy shit. 8 billion
Yeah,
every day.
according to a memory of mine and according to this, what is it?
Let's
I'm looking at it
let's
right
look it
now.
up.
Yeah, how many
Okay,
chickens
look
are
it up.
eaten a day in the USA? 8 billion.
How many cows?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's got to be more.
No, much less.
Oh, that's right. They're
Because
bigger.
they're
Obviously,
bigger.
they're bigger. Never mind.
Almost
Yeah.
100,000, 95,000 are being killed. Or wait, during the month. The same number increased by
How can it be that
1%.
big of a difference? 8 billion to how much?
Yeah, to 95,000 cattle killed per day during the month. So yeah, this is still per day. It's almost
8
100,000.
billion to 95,000. That is a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah.
I just want to
So way more chicken being eaten.
know,
Go ahead.
how many cows do you eat a year?
Let's see.
Oh, that would be a good question.
At least a
many
cow a year,
cows?
please.
Does
Yeah.
the average person eat a year? Average person eat a year. It'll probably be from the U.S. stat.
Probably.
11 cows.
11 cows.
11 cows, 2,400 chickens, 80 turkeys, 30
What?
sheep, 4,500
What?
fish. And this
Oh
is
my
from
God.
people, I'm guessing in the USA because we're fat as fuck. But
Yeah. Dude, are you kidding me? Fucking 11 cows a year. Oh my God.
yeah, that's. And if you think about
That's
it,
a lot of meat, bro.
if you were dead next to a chicken, the chickens would eat you. So I mean, you kind
Oh
of.
yeah. So would your
that's
cats, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Eventually,
yeah,
they'd start getting at you.
yeah,
And I love my cat. My cat's like one of my best friends. But
yeah.
if he found me dead for a few days, he'd be gnawing on me.
Good for him. Will to
Good
power.
for him.
You'd
Survive.
be gnawing on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's a doggy
What's that,
dog
Peter?
world out there.
Yeah, doggy dog.
Well, look, what's that? The movie, the Alfred Packer. That kind of proves it. We'd be eating each other.
8
We were
billion
starving.
Yeah, if
fucking
we had
chickens
to.
a day.
If we had to eat each other, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that's
Yeah.
what.
My mind is still
we would do.
blown here, guys. 8 billion chickens a day for 400 million people.
Just in the just in the U.S.
Oh,
million?
that's so insane.
Yeah, just in the U.S.
8 million?
Billion.
8
billion.
8 billion doesn't make sense because that means that every single person would have to be eating like
That's what
10
I'm saying,
whole chickens
like-
a day.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's ridiculous. We reconfigure that number.
We got here. Let's get Vlad. I'm gonna bring you up to speak, brother man. Let's get Walter in.
God damn it.
Come on up, Vlad.
I'll tell you something. If you were dead, Thomas, and your cat is gnawing at you, baby, he's gonna be in his flow.
He will be. My kitty's gonna be in the flow state, eating me.
I think it's 8 billion chickens a year, or not a year. It's got to be. And that's got to be worldwide because of the fact that the worldwide chicken count is 136 million chickens a day worldwide. It's 136 million chickens worldwide a day, and the U.S. is, I think, the third most chicken eating country in the world. So I'm sure based upon population, that would be China, India, because India doesn't eat any cows. So they probably
China probably eats a fuckload of chickens.
So, so I would, and probably a few cats, but
a lot of Indians are Hindus, and Hindus are vegetarian.
That's right. They yeah.
That's true.
Ahead,
But
Walter.
yeah, we're the third most chicken eating country in the world. But at 136, they say 136, 140 million chickens a day, not billion. So I
Indonesia.
don't know. Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah,
Let
it
me.
would make sense.
I've never been to Thailand, but I had some friends who are missionaries. They were there the first 2 weeks. And these
Hohenheim,
are
do you
just
live in
students.
Thailand?
Oh yeah, he does. So these students going on a what we call vacationary, not true missionary, but vacationary. One of the girls, who's a good friend of mine, told me, Vladdy, in the morning we were playing with that dog, and in the evening we had that delicious dinner. He was that. Woo! How's that one? Please, does anybody know stories like that?
I don't know. What you were saying, Walter, I get you. Peter, you want to jump in? Or Walter? Or Perry?
Oh, yeah, no,
So I'm just looking up
Or
something
I
here
Hohenheim?
worked
about
in a
chicken
Chinese
consumption.
restaurant when I was going to high school, and the Chinese cook, he legitimately made some really exceptional off-menu Chinese dishes and stuff. And it was kind of funny because he would always, make unique things. And there was this big oval platter with this big hunk of meat on it, and broccoli and around it, and kind of this brown gravy sauce on it. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like going, okay, so what is it? And he goes, try you like. I go, well, what is it? And he's like, dog, try you like. I'm like, dog. And he goes, yeah, dog, try. I'm like, and he goes, I go, bow wow. And he goes, no, quack, quack. I went, oh, duck. Okay, well, we're good.
Miscommunications are funny.
You do have to specify what kind of food.
Scott, are you finally here, bro?
Yeah, dude, I passed out for a minute, but I heard you talking about honey baked hams, and I was dreaming about.
Oh, yes. That shit is so fucking good, dude. So I was going to ask you what your flow state is, Scott. Would it be your job, or what is it?
Working up, writing music and stuff. When I play my keyboard, I can definitely get there. Work, not so much. I don't know. With work, I tend to be focusing a lot as opposed to just going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you though, probably like eating, I definitely do get in a flow state with a good meal. I'm just like, oh
yeah.
shit, yeah.
I zone completely out if I have the meal that I want at the right time. I'm just gone.
What's that? What's the meal?
Firehouse subs. Holy shit.
Oh, huh.
I don't know if you've ever had that.
I've had it before. Yep.
Or if it's really good Japanese food where they have those plates of like chicken, shrimp, and beef or something, and they have the mixed the vegetables, and then they have the rice with the egg on top of it or whatever. That shit blows my mind.
Do they still have the big table full of every fucking chili sauce known to man? The Firehouse Sub.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, Firehouse Subs,
money.
What's that?
Korean barbecue, if you've ever had that. Or
Nuh-uh.
like Korean or Mongolian barbecue, where you basically go into a place and you fill up a bowl with everything that you want, and you take it to a guy and he throws it on a hot griddle and then cooks it and then throws it back to you. It's fucking good.
It's gotta be Mongolian.
Mongolian, yeah.
Yes.
Guys, y'all are making me hungry.
Are you talking about hibachi?
Hey, well, I'm about to make some chicken soup in a moment.
All right, just text me some chicken soup when you get done.
So Firehouse Subs. There's one of those in my town, actually.
I'm telling you, they put more meat on the sandwich than there is bread. It's the opposite of Subway.
What do you get there?
I get what's called the club on a sub. It is no, that's it. Subway. It's the hook. No, I can't remember it. Maybe the hook and ladder, but it's like ham, steamed. By the way, like really good, high quality steamed ham and turkey with like, you know, the dressings, usually the lettuce and tomato and all that stuff. But dude, they're so delicious, but they're expensive. They're like $16 for a large sandwich.
Oh
And
damn.
you know, as a as like a meal, you know, if you just get the sandwich, I think it's like 12 or 13.
Yeah, smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and melted Monterey Jack, served fully loaded.
Yes. As sexual as I can make that sound, that's pretty much how I'm feeling when I eat it. Dead on.
Go get one of those. Yeah.
How far away is it from you? Because you're in Denver, right?
It's like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's worth 10 minutes, bro. It's easily worth 10 minutes. You're going to die. You're just going to be like, this is my favorite thing ever.
Damn, they got a lot of different options here.
Uh-huh. They do. They have like, I think like 12 or 13. Yeah, 12 or 13 sandwiches, and the club on a sub is my favorite. Fact. They also have a turkey ranch, though, a turkey bacon ranch, and it's really good.
And they got the spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's really good, too. All of them, like, there's no, like, at Subway, there's some things that just don't taste good, or they taste kind of fake, you know what I mean? Like their tuna and stuff, but at Firehouse, it feels all, like, super real, like they went and got the ingredients from, like, a really high-end Trader Joe's or something. I don't know, you know what I mean? And they're using like the best ham and shit that they can. And the steaming part, the fact that they put a shitload of meat on there that's all been steamed and like, you know, I guess steamed in some kind of flavoring. I'm not really sure how it works, but it's delicious.
Oh, bummer, they closed.
What? Like, have you ever been to a Quiznos?
Man, Quiznos like
Jimmy
back
John's.
in the day was money.
Yes, it's like a Jimmy John's, but a little bit higher quality, Peter. That's
Quiznos
what
are
Firehouse
nice. Yeah,
is.
I like Quiznos.
Yeah, well, Quiznos sucks nowadays. Like, dude,
Yeah,
like
compared to what it used to be?
It was the fucking best, man.
Oh, yeah. They had a thing called the Baja Chicken about 12 or 13 years ago that blew my mind.
Dude,
but it's still not as good as Firehouse.
They had this one, it was like the Southwestern chicken sub back in the day, like in the 90s. Holy shit, dude. It was so fucking good. They had some sort of special sauce, man. Dude, I'd kill for that sandwich.
I think sandwiches are probably my favorite thing to eat, which is why I'm fat, because of the bread.
Dude, I could talk about a sandwich. See, in Colorado has like more sandwich shops than like any other state.
Dude, the one time I went to Denver, I saw so many fucking restaurants that blew. Because I'm not from that kind of big city, you know what I mean? I'm from a smaller town, and dude, I want to live there so bad, dude. Just damn it.
There is an endless amount of restaurants, yeah, dude. Fucking, yeah. It's awesome.
We went to a taco place that I'd never seen the name of before, but I can't tell you what it was. It wasn't like Chipotle. It was something else.
Was it Pinche Taco?
Oh, yeah, that might have been it. That rings familiar. I can't remember what I got there, but it was good.
Guys, you know who doesn't?
Oh, shit, we've got another caller. I'm sorry. Walter, let me bring you up, and we'll get Jim in here. I'm sorry, Vlad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a flow right there talking about food.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was super zoned into that talk. Walter, if you're still there, buddy, if you want to come up and speak, jump up here to speak so we can get Jim in. There we go. All right, let's get Jim in here. What's up, Jim?
What's up, man?
Nothing.
I can see. Chilling. Yeah, I'm on a sandwich hiatus. I had wheat-free sandwiches.
No sandwiches.
So I'm on again, no sandwiches for this guy.
I feel for you. What's your favorite food?
Yeah. I eat everything. To be honest with you.
So what's your favorite restaurant and or fast food place then?
When I say I eat just about everything, I'm a seafood fan. I see food and I eat it.
I used to live on the beach, and there was so much seafood
that
in so many restaurants.
I like that.
I think you missed the it's a seafood, SEE.
Gotcha. I messed up there. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Thomas,
no, I used to live on the water too. So
Jim, Thomas, Scott, everybody here, check it out. Have you guys ever seen Triple D's the Guy Fieri? I forgot Guy Fieri from Triple D's.
Yeah, diners,
Okay,
drives, and
exactly. Thank you. He goes all over the United States. And when you mentioned, Thomas, I think you said about Colorado. I was thinking
Yeah.
exactly the last one I seen about a month ago with Guy, and I was like, damn, Thomas is so right. I can't believe it. He only showed a couple of businesses, and the most important one, the one he was visiting. And they got some things out there that, man, if you guys are ever out of state, go to his website and look at the listings and look at the videos if you can. They're on the web. And oh my God, the places that he visits, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, Guy Fieri.
Wow.
His cooking is going to kill him. He's going to die when he's like 50. I don't even know how old he is, but
he's going to get you in the flow, but you're going to die. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much grease that man has consumed in his life. It's probably in the barrelfuls, in the 80-gallon drumfuls. I mean, some of the stuff he has put out that I've seen looks delicious, but also like way too far. Like, but see, would I want like Gordon Ramsay to cook for me and like me have one of his meals? I don't know. Maybe.
Like if I was gonna eat anything from Gordon Ramsay, I'd want it to be
his eggs.
No, it's the beef that's wrapped in pastry.
Oh my God.
Wellington.
Beef Wellington, yeah.
That sounds dope.
No,
I actually made a steak sandwich based off of his stuff a while ago. It's pretty easy to do. Highly recommend it.
Check it out, guys. You know how Gordon Ramsay did that Hell's Kitchen? And he's just, on those cooks like like a military captain or something?
Yeah.
I would like him to prepare something for me by them, but with that attitude. Cook this shit. It's for Blatty. Make it your best. Like that. Make it. Get it ready in 20 minutes. He's hungry. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night, Peter.
Dude, good call, Vlad. I just looked up his website. I found a place that I'm going to go to at work next week. Restaurant.
So you got Firehouse to go to, and now you got a Guy Fieri restaurant to go to?
Yeah, Audrey Jane's Pizza Garage. Dude, it looks fucking legit.
You've got so many good options in Denver for pretty much any good food. I mean, man. Because it's such a high culture town, Don't they do a lot?
Sushi is the best, in my opinion, which I know
sushi
a lot of people will disagree with. Some people, you either love it or you hate it, it seems like, when I talk to people about it.
I want to know, what would Jimothy, why are you on a sandwich hiatus?
Jimothy.
My in-laws have ruined it for me. So we've been going out of Florida where they are for a while, and we've had a lot of different events that are happening, like my son's first birthday, a few of the other things. But every single time, it's always like, let's go to Publix and get like a tray of these little sandwiches, for catering and whatnot. And then it's like they buy way too much. It's like you buy like 5 large trays, and you never learn your lesson ever. And so then you end up spending the next few days eating those same sandwiches.
Yeah, and then you're just worn out on it.
I'm done. I'm done. Like, I told them, we're not doing fucking sandwiches. Ever.
You know what I'm thinking about right now, which is not necessarily sandwiches, but it's Italian food. I think I could die eating Italian food.
No, I limit that too because my wife's Italian.
So she cooks it all the time?
Yeah, pasta is like a go-to.
Yeah.
Pasta potato is a meat, which is like German and Italian. But
I can't lie, spaghetti is one of my favorite things.
I made lasagna last night.
Oh, lasagna?
Lasagna tonight, so yeah.
Oh man, a good lasagna.
Good meat.
So Italian is your number one, Thomas? Italian food?
In terms of like culture, yeah.
Yeah, like
probably.
overall.
Yeah. I mean, my sandwiches are obviously like my go-to thing when I really am craving something. But yeah, Italian food, I think's
I'd have to
yeah.
go with Mexican. Mexican's probably just my number one overall.
I'll be honest with you. Like when I go to a Mexican restaurant, and all the ones around here are really good. There's only like maybe 10 entrees that I like, and then the rest of them I'm indifferent to. So,
What do you usually get?
chicken quesadillas or some kind of burrito.
Because I'll tell you, like my gold standard, how I rate a Mexican restaurant is how good their chili rellenos are. If those are fucking.
Oh, I rated it on how good their fajitas are. You know, they're steamed. I mean, not steamed, but they're hot pan that they bring you out with all the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Fuck, I can't even talk right now.
Peppers, the steak fajita.
Yeah, the peppers and the
onions,
steak and all that shit.
and it's all
yeah.
cooking in that iron kind of cast
Yes.
skillet, or whatever.
That is how I judge Mexican restaurants.
Damian, you have not had. You got to be in Alabama. You have not had Mexican.
Well, I mean, I'm in Alabama. I've
Mexican.
probably
No,
run
no, no.
across
My
a
people are
few.
down there. My people are down there. They do make up. But you know what, bro? The closer you are to the border, the more original. The farther away you are from the southern border,
So, like, Texas is where I need to be.
Bell.
Is Texas going to be the best Mexican food?
No, I would say they have their style is very delicious, but it's Texas. It's Texican. It's Tex-Mex.
Mexican.
And I proved this with a friend's wife, as he was telling me that his wife is Texican from Texas, but she doesn't like Mexican food from LA. But that's because she grew up with Texas style Mexican, and that's her standard.
Yeah.
And it's
What's, like,
hard
the
to get
main
her off of that.
difference? Like corn tortilla
Yeah.
and stuff. Like,
But
what's,
again,
like,
my respects. I'm down for everything. I'm very open-minded. But my personal favorite food, I've been eating it for 25 years, Indian food.
yeah,
Punjabi
Oh.
that's what I was gonna say
Indian.
actually. Indian is
Yes,
like my
yeah.
second favorite.
I'm
So
Mexican. I love
curry.
Mexican, but you know
Yeah,
what?
curry.
Exactly. How about the tiki masala?
Yep, tiki masala.
Dude, butter chicken or korma. Oh my goodness. Dude, korma is like I'll just rub that over my body. It's so good.
What is korma?
Wasabi on my body.
Korma is like it's. I
How do
mean,
you
it's
spell
like a
that?
curry. It's you got vindaloo, you got all like the standard kind of curries. Korma is a cream
Oh, I
based
see.
one as opposed to like a tomato based.
Yeah, I see it. That looks like is that Indian or Arabic?
It's
that's
Indian.
Yeah,
We are all basically just lusting after food right now.
Arabic and Middle Eastern food is
I
fire
fucking
too.
love it.
Dude, butter chicken's so good.
How does everybody feel about pizzas?
Dude,
I've been
pizza is,
binging
like,
pizza lately.
probably one of my favorites. If it's like it's got to be good pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like even shitty pizza's good pizza. Like a Domino's is still.
I mean, Domino's is still pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like a restaurant pizza.
Yeah.
A sit-down restaurant, shall I say.
I like the places where you just go to and it's like the 20-inch pie that they cook, and then you just go get a slice. It's as big as your head, dude.
See, New York is supposed to be the place for pizza, and I've never been anywhere near there. So
Well,
I would
Chicago's
like to try
deep
New
dish
York.
is the best kind of pizza, I think, objectively.
It's not a pizza; it's a casserole.
I've never been to Chicago either.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would take that over New York style pizza. Call it casserole.
Yeah, I would rather go to
lasagna,
Chicago.
whatever you want.
I would rather go to Chicago anyway than New York. Just because.
I do like a deep dish, but man, like New York style thin crust. Oh my goodness,
It's all good.
Like
Yeah,
that,
pizza cracker style is the shit. Thin crust is where it's at.
What's the best fast food? Jets or Papa John's or something? Or definitely not Papa
I don't
John's.
know. I like
but
Papa John's, but Domino's is, I don't know.
Domino's is cheap.
Do you guys
This
have
is good.
Abo's pizza?
No.
Abo's?
Abo's?
I don't think so.
It's like a New York style kind of.
Perry, where do you live?
I'm in Florida right now, Tampa area.
Okay, Florida. So you're in the South like me. Okay. So
Mhm.
yeah, we don't have the whatever. What's the name of it again, Scott?
Abo's.
Abo's. Yeah, is it good? Is it like high quality
Yeah,
Shit.
it's pretty damn good. It's the kind like you go to and get like go to lunch and it's $7 for two big old slices that are
Whew.
just massive.
That's
That
the kind of thing I need.
Scott is $15 in LA.
Yeah,
When you go to like the Greco's, like New York style, anything New York style in Hollywood or up in the valley, that's $15 now. That used to be at least 10, but now with the soda and everything, that's 10. Two slices and a soda,
All
$15.
fast food or any restaurant has gone up. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yes.
the whole reason why the Firehouse subs are almost $20 for a meal. They used to not be that expensive.
what was that one pizza place that was only in malls?
Oh, Sparrow Pizza.
Yeah.
They're still good for $5. They're still good.
That's the greasiest pizza you will ever eat in your life, guys. Mall pizza.
No, how about when they try to maul you down and don't take the pizza, get the whole meal, which you're almost
Yeah.
paying almost $20 with drink and the baked ziti that they have in the pizza and a salad. You're like, I only came for the pizza. We'll take our double pizza special with a soda for 10 something.
What do they have in Alabama? Like Godfathers?
No, the pizza. I mean, there's a lot of like individual Italian restaurants in Huntsville and Decatur where I live, but the fast food pizza places are the same. There's really no, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's. What else, Barry? Am I missing one?
Domino's, Papa John's.
I think it's just those three.
Yeah, and then just a bunch of local ones near me, which aren't.
It looks like you guys got a Mellow Mushroom. That's actually
Oh yeah, that's a pretty decent one. I like Mellow Mushroom.
started in Boulder.
Yeah, they've got one in my town. They're very expensive, but they're good. A lot of people go there to get drunk.
Marco's Pizza. You ever heard of Marco's Pizza, or is that just a Florida thing?
Marco's.
Marco's
Oh,
is the
yeah,
stuff
Marco's.
they sell in like
Yeah,
gas
Marco's
stations,
is
right,
good.
Jim?
No, Marco's Pizza is a little. It's like a Domino's chain type thing. It's in North Carolina. It's pretty good.
I got you.
I'd rather have Marco's over Domino's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Domino's is going to be bottom of the tier, bottom level.
It kind of is. And you don't need to fight it anymore. Just accept the fact. Accept the inevitable.
But what about gas station pizza, guys?
Oh, it's
Hey.
always the best. Or gas station tacos. Swear to God, there's a place in Detroit, back of a liquor store, had the best tacos.
What's that, Jim?
I lived on Hunt's Brother Pizza for a very long time. Get that.
A Hunt for
PX
good pizza?
Gas station. Hunt's Brother. It's the
Oh,
name
Hunt
of it.
Brother. I got you now.
Yeah. Good old PX Pizza right there.
I used to live on that shit when I was going to work in the during the midday,
Breakfast
and I would go
pizza
get a
too?
slice.
Oh boy. Now we're cooking with fire. Oh Jesus Christ.
Dude, nobody's brought up fish and chips yet, though. That's
pretty
Hey,
good. I've had it in the boroughs in London, so
Yeah.
that was pretty dope.
Scott, Jim, Thomas, everyone here.
Mhm.
Fish and chips in Seward, Alaska. It's not the Seward, please don't confuse. Seward, Alaska, next to
Sew-
Anchorage. They
Yeah.
fresh off the boat, black cod and salmon, cleaned up, cooked, made into a nugget, deep fried, and then you get crisp cut fried. Back then, we're talking about 1998 maybe.
Mhm.
First and last time I went, $10. That was a meal for lunch, and it lasted into the night.
Yeah, I got you beat, I think. I think
It
I
was
got you
just-
beat. So
Yeah, lay it out.
there's this place growing up, and we knew the owners, and it was like a little restaurant right there in Marina. It's in like Englehart, but it's just like minor, like little town. And what we would do is we'd go out fishing, and we'd be going for trout or something like that, or whatever we catch in the sound or something. Come back
To them.
and bring it to them. The only thing they'd ask for is like just a few of them. So we come back with like 10, 20 or something like that. and then they just fry them up right there for us.
That's unreal.
Game over. And not only that, but there was soft shell crabs right across the way. Like that's where they were, processing them. And then they'd have fresh crabs all the time. So,
Dude, it's so good.
rock, paper, scissors, right off the boat.
For crab, believe it or not, guys, I went for a couple of hours coming from DC with a friend on the Amtrak to Baltimore, Maryland. I didn't know the most of the fun activities are closed during the day. This is in the month of March, 2005, and that city was known for crab cakes. You remember, I was totally ignorant of the whole thing. I just went with my friend, and it's like all over the city. Different pricing back then, of course. The country was just coming out of 9/11, 2001. So it had all this high security. Everything was closed down. There was no game. I asked the lady at one of the convention centers, like, well, what do you guys do for fun? She goes, baby, we have fun at night. Oh, shit. I go, I'm only here till 6. No invitation for me there, right? So I just ate. I don't even remember what I ate. I think I did have crab cakes with my friends at the local mall, but that was about it. We were on schedule. We had to be back before 6 to get the train going back. But yeah, that city is known for crab cakes, though. Crab is their thing. Alaska too I had so much crab, but not crab cakes, but crab. Dungeness crab, what's called Opedio crab, which is over here, it's called snow crab or spider crab. King crab, which is rare to get because they usually have it for commercial and it's expensive. So much salmon, so much halibut and black cod for those 3 years that I had to get away from fish for a while. I had baked salmon, hamburger salmon. We had Dungeness crab like all the time.
Yeah, I've had a salmon burger before, ground up.
Goodness. And I'm telling you, you had the halibut baked. They worked it deep fried, nuggets, whatever you want. I had it so much those 3 summers. I was done. I was like, dude, I've eaten so much fish for the rest of my life.
That's how I felt after I left the beach.
And of course, I was in my flow. I was in my flow.
The eating flow.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the Pangburn Hangout on Callin. We're kind of since we're covered the fucking we've covered the flow really good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm getting hungry and I want to go out and get something to eat.
Then you're gonna get in your flow.
I'm gonna get in my flow. But it's not too many callers tonight. I've had a super really good time with everybody, and I'm not cutting anybody off. We'll stay on for another 10 or 15 if anybody wants to cover something.
What are you gonna eat? What are you gonna eat? What do you want? What do you
I don't know. I may just drive down the road and see what I think. Kind of crosses my mind. Most things aren't open right now, so I think my options are limited.
Oh, guys, how about this
something
one?
Like shitty ass Taco Bell or something.
I forgot to share this one. A friend of mine in year 98, just about to board, like 2 hours away. 2 hours from the boarding. And only 10 minutes away, driving. My friend caught a deer. It's either deer, it's in the deer family, caribou, whatever, right?
Right.
But he caught one illegally. He caught a baby calf, which is illegal to get. If the Fish and Wildlife gets you, you're going to go to jail for sure. He slaps it on the table. It's dead. He starts cutting it up. I'm over here preparing on the second floor of my shit to leave, my luggage.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm walking down, he goes, Vlad, aren't you gonna eat with us? And I was like, oh shit, you got the deer going.
You got the deer.
And he got me like 4, if I remember, 4 nuggets, but big long nuggets. Oh, the best nuggets I've had. That was a flow right there.
Venison.
But as I left with the taxi to board the Alaska Marine Highway System in Petersburg, Alaska, I told my buddy, I had in my mind, I hope my buddy doesn't get caught, I told him, you better hide these damn antlers because the fishing game knows about what you did. You're going to jail. But, I'm pretty sure he held them up in a wall. But those were the best nuggets I've had of deer. Oh, man. Nothing fancy, just deep fried and eat. I ate, drank, and out to the boat.
You
And I
don't need
never
to do a
saw them
lot of
again.
things fancy most of the time. Simple is always easier and better.
Oh yeah. Yes.
No restaurant, no nothing. Just straight on some like metal desk, like the ones that they put in those nice homes. They're usually granite, but this one was just wood. Boom, slaps it and cut it up right there. And as he cut it, washed it, then not even a fancy batter, but it was delicious meat. First and last time. I got in the flow.
Let's let Hohenheim say something. He hadn't spoken in a while.
I'm going to destroy the flow. I need to know what the verb of catalyst is. Catalyze?
Catalyze, yeah.
Is that a word?
Z.
Catalyze.
I mean, let me look it up. I'll look it up. It sounds like it's a word.
With the Z.
Sounds like an awesome word. I'm just writing the introduction to this book.
Catalyze.
I'm frustrated, and I'm going to let it out.
Yes, it is a word.
Something positive.
Cause or accelerate by acting as a catalyst.
Cool. Catalyze. Yep. Well, this is the introduction. I'll let you get back. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm gonna let people.
Jim.
Go ahead, Barry.
I want to ask.
No, go on now.
I was going to ask Jim what his profile picture means.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
Yeah, so my profile pic is my podcast that I have called Meaning Forge, where I interview people to talk about how they embody, and share meaning in their life, and then how they discipline themselves to that burden
awesome.
or carry that leadership forward. So the symbology is a hammer, sword, pin, and crown. And the hammer, of course, is make. The sword is embody, and the pin is share in some regards, leaving a legacy. So
cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Can you
I
answer
like
your
that a
question
lot.
then?
Sorry?
How do you bring meaning? Can you answer the questions you ask your people? How do you bring meaning in everything you said?
How do I bring meaning in everything I said?
Well, no, you just said what your podcast is about, and you ask people how they, I can't remember what you said exactly, how they bring meaning.
How they make, embody, and share meaning in their life.
Yeah. How do you?
I just asked questions about, there's a framework to it, right? So it's like, tell me a little. I kind of typically will start the interview off, a little. Tell me about yourself, where I sort of get the groundwork. I'll ask a few questions about, where they are, like where they're coming from,
right?
And then the hammer is kind of like their influences, attributes that they put into themselves, or implicitly and explicitly, and then
nature nurture kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit, things they learn from people. And then the sword is kind of like a present moment type of thing, typically, like where they are right now. What judgments they're making, what actions they're taking. And then the pen is I just asked two questions for the pen. They're both the same, or they're not the same, but they're the same type of question. So 2,000 years in the future, how do you want to be remembered? And then it's like, what's your essence, right? And the other question is 2,000 years in the future, what's one thing you want someone to find about you? One object, and why?
Well, that's a cool thought.
Yeah, and then from there we go into the crown, which we kind of talk more leadership type stuff.
And I like the metaphor, man. Like, that's really interesting.
Nice, thank you.
I wasn't cutting you off, Jim. I'm sorry. I was just saying I like the metaphor. I think it's good symbolism.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Scott, were you trying to jump in, brother?
I was going to say, just regarding food still. If you have to rank, this is something I'm always curious about. What's your favorite burger place? Because like Whataburger's good.
We have a Whataburger, and I would say at least around me, that's my best option.
You ever had an In-N-Out? In-N-Out's probably my favorite.
Nope, never had it.
The kind that I make on the grill.
Yeah, those are
That's the
good
best
too.
burger. Let's be blunt here. The best burgers.
The best burgers are home burgers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I for like Shake Shack's pretty good. If you've ever had Shake Shack.
Oh, we don't have them in California. No, not even Whataburger or Shake. But I have to second. I have to second the In-N-Out. Whoever spoke.
Yeah,
one of the
most
delicious.
It's just like a straight up basic burger. No frills or anything. Just good meat, good produce and shit. Man, it's fucking dank.
I met up with some friends that came out of Boston, friends of friends, and the older fellows that were with him, they told him, "Oh my goodness, we need an In-N-Out up there in Boston."
Yeah, I'm lucky. They just opened one here in Colorado.
So In-N-Out's just like burger place, or what is
just burgers? Yeah, and like when you
go there, so it's like Five Guys. Then have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, Five Guys. Like you have like all these different options. At In-N-Out, you go there and they basically have like 5 things on the menu. Period. That's it. So like a burger, cheeseburger, double. You can get like you can ask for stuff that's not on the menu, but it's like, dude, the price is like $4 for a double burger, and then the thing's gonna fill you up, dude. So like the price is amazing, the quality is great.
Scott, did they open one in Colorado?
Yeah, they've got like 4 here now.
Oh wow! I thought they were never gonna come out of California. Yeah. That is awesome.
I'm in Colorado. They're here.
Oh, that's delicious.
We got Shake Shacks here now too. We got Smash Burger, which is like a Shake Shack kind of competitor.
Where are you, Scott? I'm up in Longmont.
I'm in Longmont.
Are you kidding? Oh,
no.
Yeah. What do you know? My kids were all so excited for me to go to Five Guys because I'd never been there, and I went.
Oh, it's pretty good.
They were really mad because I got a hot dog. I was like, the hot dog looks pretty good. They put all these peppers and onions on it. It was so great. So I've really enjoyed all the food talk. You guys, I'm a foodie, so food's my my thing.
That's our flow state is the food.
Yeah. No, I have to agree with Vlad. I think it's my favorite restaurant food is Indian food. We've got some really good Indian places here in Boulder, a couple of Thai places I love.
See, I envy you guys. You get to have all the awesome fucking restaurants out there in Denver and shit.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, there's there's just like a big I don't know, culture around food here. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of farm to table stuff. My kids are really into that. They love going to those farms where you can just sit around for 3 hours eating all this fresh food.
Is there any table to farm stuff?
There's actually one place where it's like it's a restaurant, but they own a farm, and when you go there, it's like they set up tables like out in the field and shit. Like you go and it's all like fancy and
that's
nice
what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I bet you pay some money for that. Pay money for the experience.
They're bougie friends. They love going to those places. The other big thing here in Longmont is all the breweries, and they serve pub food. Those are really popular.
Damn.
300 Suns, they make a pretty tasty burger.
300 Suns?
300 Suns. It's a brewery here in Longmont. It's over by like the train tracks. If you know what I'm talking about, Jenny, like.
I know right where that is. I used to work as an Uber driver, and so much of my driving was to all the breweries.
Damn, girl, you've had a lot of life experiences. Uber driver.
I drove for 3 years for Uber and Lyft. I have some stories. I definitely have some stories. But I had to stop because I'm disabled.
Oh yeah, I'm on disability too. I understand.
I'm not on disability, but I'm definitely disabled. So.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I'm sorry about that.
My husband takes very good care of me.
That's excellent.
Yes.
That is excellent.
And I cook for him. Boy, I cook. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
What's your go-to thing? What's your main cooking thing?
He's got kind of slight gluten issues. So we use a lot of alternative grains, and I have a grain mill. So I'm always grinding something, kamut, spelt, quinoa, and then I just make all kinds of stuff. Mostly
That's cool shit.
Artisan breads. My daughter lives with us. She does sourdough. And we make our own muffins and pancakes and waffles and all that
pancakes,
kind of grainy stuff. Yeah, but all whole grain. They taste so good when it's whole grain.
I bet they do. I've never had a whole grain pancake.
I do a ton in my crock pot. I'm always like today I did pot roast and
that's basically all my mom cooks in is crock pots. She loves that shit.
Yeah, there's something about slow cooking a meal that just really enhances the flavors.
Oh yes.
And I love to do roasted vegetables with rice, and we do a lot of pasta here too. I'm part Italian, so I'm always cooking.
That's my kryptonite is Italian food. Somebody's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have some spaghetti." I'm like, "I'm on it. I want some."
Yeah, and lately I've been roasting a lot of vegetables and just tossing them with pasta, and it's quick, but it's so yummy.
I like
those roasted tomatoes, and
I like a classic chicken Alfredo where you have sliced up chicken, broccoli, and just the sauce and the noodles. That's pretty much one of my favorite dishes. It's so simple.
Yeah, and you mentioned Firehouse subs. They are the next level subs. I've only gotten it like twice because they're so expensive, but both times I was like, "What is this party happening in my mouth?" There's something about their sauce. There's something about their sauces. I'm not sure what they do with those sauces, but they're so good.
I agree with you. They are so good, dude. If it was open right now, I'd go to it. I would. I've been talking it up all night. What's up, Honenheim?
I was going to ask Jenny. Jenny, you're, if I remember correctly, you're Mormon, yes?
I am.
Oh, I have a couple of questions for you. I'm kidding. Thomas, I can hear. Sorry.
No, you're fine. If you want to ask, listen. If you want to ask her, if you want to, you're good. If you want to ask her those questions, you can. Just
I can hear
be
Thomas,
patient.
I can hear Thomas. I can see Thomas going, Honenheim, you can get fucked if you're asking these questions now. I'm going to end the show.
No, it's okay. I was enjoying we can keep going if everybody's having a good time.
No, I'm having a good time. You can ask me anything.
I'm feeling absolutely rotten this morning for some reason. I feel very sick, and probably because of what I'm heading back to tomorrow in my work.
What are you sick with?
I can do it. I think I've had like long COVID ever since I've had extreme symptoms. Like both me and my partner had like I never really get like extremely anxious. Well, I do, but this is like extreme. Every single day, waking up feeling sick and just mental haze and coughing, and it's just horrible. It's slowly going away.
Ooh. Well, I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, me too. Well, I will. I know I can't.
It's not going to kill you, so we know this. We know that. I hope not.
Yeah, definitely.
Has anybody ever died from the common cold? There's a random question for you.
I'm sure there's been some deaths from the common cold.
There's got to be.
Without a doubt, at some point in history.
How many deaths from the common cold? I'm just going to ask it that. Yeah, the firehouse thing it's not saying. It says flu, but it doesn't say common cold, so.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
die
if
from
you get the common cold, it might be like a code thing. Like, what was it, a comorbidity thing or something?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. It's saying that if there are comorbidities, then yes, you can die from a cold. Okay. Well, I got my answer then. So by itself doesn't look like it, but with other things like bad health, physical health and shit,
It'd weaken you for sure, and then, all it takes is the right germ.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Scott, did you need to jump in? You want to jump in?
Oh no, I'm just looking at food now, dude. I'm in a hole.
That's what I was doing. I was just sitting here brainstorming. Could I go to Walmart and just buy the ingredients for spaghetti and make it?
Dude, buttered noodles.
Yeah,
buttered noodles.
So go to the store and get you some good fucking butter. Okay, just get some good butter. Okay, and then get some noodles. Don't get the cheap kind, get the decent kind, okay?
Yeah.
And then sit there, and you literally just make some pasta. And when you're done with the pasta, save some of the pasta water, and throw some butter in that shit, and mix it about, and throw some of that pasta water in there. Yo, bro, the only thing you need is a little salt, little pepper, little Parmesan, and you're fucking done. Like, done.
That
Noodles.
sounds good as hell.
It is amazing. It's quick. It's
I mean, I'd even be down with like just Alfredo sauce and noodles. I'd be cool with that.
Dude, what I'll do with it.
Well, I believe the butter part's probably better. I trust you on that, but.
Dude, you know what's really good though? Is if you take the butter and you cook and you heat it up and you separate like the fat particles, and then you can collect like the fat off with the spoon and put that on a bread and then just use like the ghee or whatever that's left over for your noodles. Holy shit. That is something else.
I've got so many good ideas now. I've never had like a lot of different types of breakfast food. Like, you know, I've been to Waffle House and IHOP and shit like that. But
I mean, there ain't a whole lot of different breakfast foods out there. It's pretty straightforward.
It's like basic stuff, right?
I mean, steak and egg. I mean, it's just a variation of different things, but typically, you know, breakfast is breakfast.
Yeah.
I make my own homemade granola, and I make it by the bin. Man, we just live on that stuff.
Granola.
I make parfaits with yogurt and fresh fruit and throw granola in my oatmeal just to spice it up a little bit.
That sounds effing amazing, granola and oatmeal, for real.
Yeah, that's what I had this morning. I just cooked up a little oatmeal and threw a scoop of granola in there, and I have lots of dried fruit and all these seeds and sunflower seeds and spices. And then I do put quite a bit of brown sugar in there because it really does make it more palatable.
Oh, yeah. Brown sugar and oatmeal is probably one of the best, just excellent things to, like, right when you wake up, you can eat it. It's just delicious.
Dude, yeah. I eat oatmeal every breakfast. Jenny, do you ever make like peanut butter granola? Because I do like peanut granola.
We put peanut butter or almond butter, sunflower butter. It ups the protein a lot, but makes it taste so good. I got to go to sleep, but guys, it's lovely chatting with food about food.
I had a good time. Jenny, thank you for coming in and making me even more hungry.
Anytime, Thomas.
Thank you. Close here, guys. Let's everybody listening, let's please subscribe to the Pangburn Hangout. Travis has put the Discord link in the comments, so I'll keep the room running for just a little bit longer. I was going to ask Perry if he had the Discord, if he's ever been on there, but I'm not really sure. What's up, Vlad?
You know what I want, and maybe this will get me into the flow? Eating Italian food from true Italian people with the music in the background. Something like, you know, someone's family, that Mamma Mia, you hear that, and your mama comes and treats you very well and feeds you like one of her sons.
It's like the Godfather. You gotta go find this.
Exactly, thank you.
Yeah, it's like you gotta go find this old village where they cook everything by hand and something like that.
And then I'll be like the honorary Italian there, you know, and I get that special, beautiful treatment.
Dude, from Vlad, if you're into cooking, check out. There's a YouTube channel called Pasta Grammar, and it's this guy and this girl. She's Italian, but they just like make real Italian food. It's delicious.
So there's a few channels. So there's a few things. So definitely, there's also Binging with Babish on YouTube.
Yeah,
and he does like themed meals. So like meals from, you know, Pokemon or whatnot, right? Like, I kid you not. And then on the Italian note, I've had Italian that was so good that it wasn't in Italy. It was in Germany. There was this place in Weiden, Germany that I would go to where they knew my name, they knew who I was, and they knew what I ordered.
German Italian
for the most part. And it was La Vita is by far the best Italian food I've ever had. And it was in Germany.
That's crazy.
Not in Italy.
What part of Germany?
Germany's got a lot of different cultures in there.
Bavaria.
Bavaria.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen like Italian chefs, and apparently like some of the best Italian food in the world that you can get is in Japan, just because like they're like the way they're so obsessive about food. I guess they just nail it, just rock it out of the park.
Those Japanese are known for also some delicious food, and they specialize in noodles. Anyone knows where the noodles originated? Is it an Asian thing or is it an Italian thing?
No, noodles are Asian.
Are Asian? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same thing like Italian food, like tomatoes. Tomatoes, they didn't have tomatoes in Italian food until people were coming to America. Tomatoes are American.
Exactly. I've shared that because they came from Mexico. I shared that with a friend who's Italian, and I threw him off. He's Italian. He goes, "No, bro, we're not Mexican. Mexican in your food, baby. Those tomatoes belong to us, fucker." I go, "You got to recognize that. We got part of us in you." Hated that, but he had to admit history because of that great exchange, with the conquest and everything. I go, "Bro, you got a little bit of us in you." So every time you eat that that spaghetti and meatballs, you got some Mexican there.
Same thing with potatoes. Potatoes are from the United States too.
And they originated in Peru, so we got Peru, all over. But they have like about
yeah. So they weren't even in Europe until people came here first.
That's crazy.
Huh. I always thought potatoes were in Europe for a very long time, actually. But okay.
But the thing with potatoes is that despite that they're originally from Peru, they have like over 2,000 variations of potatoes, if I'm right. There's potatoes we don't even know about. We just know about the white potato,
insane.
the russet, and the pink potato and the red potato, all those, but we don't know there's the other variations. They're like purple and black potato.
All I know is I like sweet potato fries. Any sweet potato fries, I will absolutely do it.
Yeah, I just looked it up. The potatoes were brought to Europe in the mid 1500s.
Ew. From where?
South America.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. South America. I didn't know that's where they originated from. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Peru,
which is interesting because a lot of the stuff that like people think of like Italian food is not even wasn't even there until people were coming to the United States or coming to the Americas and bringing back produce.
I got you.
Fun food facts.
Yeah, I mean, why not know these things?
You just know, Thomas, when you're stuffing your mouth with that big fat spoon with a lot of potatoes, you just thinking Peru, baby, Peru.
Thank you, Peru. Thank you, Peru. And if the sweet potatoes come from there, then thank you, Peru, also. Real quick, I just wanted to ask Jim, do you have our Discord?
Yeah, dude, I'm James B on Discord.
Oh, James B. Oh, okay. Word. What's up? I'm sorry.
What's up, man?
My bad. Okay. Well, everybody, let's kind of wrap it up here. I'll go look at the Discord link in the chat real quick. And let's go all hop on there and engage and see if we can continue the dialectic. I've got to get something to eat, but I will be on there. So thanks everybody for coming and listening to us talk about the flow state. I love everybody here, and we're going to end it. So see you guys later.